power and the quality levels. So yeah, massively important for Chelsea. You see that when he's not playing. He's managed to play more regularly this season, which has been great, but obviously out recently. And yeah, without picking Thomas's squad for him or his team, I think Reece James is one of the best right backs in the world, without a doubt. And yeah, want to see him fit and playing again because he's a special player.
So how do you rate our chances at the World Cup, Frank?
Well, I think we've got a good chance, but there's a lot of other good teams in it. This is the age-old question I get about why we didn't win World Cups as a group from my generation. And part of the answer is because France, Spain, Germany were all really, really good too. And, so there are other teams that will be there competing.
There's a lot of talk about the independent football regulator. Some people love the sound of it, others don't. But what actually is it? And is it going to be any good for the game? In simple terms, it'll be an organisation not controlled by the Premier League, the EFL or the government, which will make sure all clubs are financially stable and don't rip off the fans. The aim is to make sure what happened to Bury, Derby and Reading doesn't happen again. Now, a significant reason clubs go under is because of dodgy owners financially mismanaging the club and running it into the ground. But in theory, these should be a thing of the past with the new regulator. They'll be able to use data from the National Crime Agency to perform stronger fit and proper persons tests and can even force owners to give up their stake in a club, which for certain supporters might be a welcome relief. It's likely good news for the EFL. The tension between them and the Premier League over a fair financial deal has been increasing in recent years. As it stands, talks have broken down. The Premier League backed out of recent negotiations, but the regulator will have the power to force through a deal, meaning more money for clubs lower down the pyramid. Now, this might sound simple, but in reality there's concerns this will open a legal can of worms, which could result in messy court cases involving the Premier League and the regulator. Parachute payments will be brought under the control of the regulator too. If they reduce them, it could mean a wider variety of clubs securing promotion to the top flight, but critics reckon it'll just mean the gap between the Premier League and EFL actually widens, as promoted clubs won't get as much money, which should normally be used to buy better players so they can compete. And current Premier League clubs have said if there were no parachute payments, they'd actually invest less, which would harm the quality of the top flight. And if clubs don't invest, then you'll get exactly what the EFL don't want, which is the same three clubs going down every year. And remember when Cardiff's owners changed the club's colours and badge? Well, in future, fans will have to approve any major changes to their club's heritage. Now that might all sound great, but do we really need it? Some say the downfall of Reading and Bury is an exception, not the rule. So as a whole, the most successful footballing pyramid in world football doesn't need regulation. They say it scares investors who can help grow the game. If those investors go elsewhere, well, the Premier League may no longer be the destination for the best players in the world. And others, well, they just don't trust politicians to appoint truly independent people to regulate our game.
I wonder, Barry, if we should stop the music. I don't know if there is a breaking news. I don't know how quickly they can get the breaking news sting or jingle, because, you know, what we've just heard Max say in the sports headlines there is sort of possibly the biggest news to have rocked sport.
I think I know what you're talking about, Max.
Well, yes, and I don't want to bring it up until the breaking news sting is just playing. Play it.
Talk Sport.
So yeah, if you are just joining us, you will hear that Watford have parted company with a manager. This is, I mean, I don't know where to start, Barry.
Well, I would start by pointing out that Watford have now reached the stage that they're sacking managers that I wasn't even aware they'd appointed. So while I have every sympathy with Ed Still, I wasn't even aware. If you had asked me who the Watford manager is and given me 55 million guesses, if I just spent the next 2.5 hours guessing who the Watford manager was yesterday, I would not have got near it.
Do you know what?
Is Ed Still related to Will Still?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. Are they? They're brothers, apparently. Are they both the sons of John Still? Is there a Still empire, of motionless managers? I mean, who knows? But I think you're not alone, Barry. I think most people now discover who the Watford manager is when their sacking is announced. I think that's generally how it works.
Probably have gone Javi Gracia. Would have been my opener.
I mean, I think you can't go wrong with Quique Sanchez-Flores, can you? You're absolutely, you're onto one with Quique Sanchez-Flores. So who knows who will get the Watford job next? Anyway, how are you, Barry?
I'm very well, thank you, Max. I had an interesting experience on, was it Friday night?
Oh, well, sounds good.
Well, I think you're aware of it already, but it gave me an idea for a text topic. And I famously...
have we got the breaking news jingle again?
Yeah, I famously never have ideas.
talkSPORT. Here we are. If you're just joining us, Barry's had an idea for a text topic first time in 15 years.
No, I think I probably have about 3 ideas a year, and 2 of them are good. But I think this one might fly. So I was out for a few drinks on Friday evening in the pub. And I am friends with the brother of Pauline McGlynn, the actor, who's famously Mrs. Doyle in Father Ted, among many other roles. She's currently in Coronation Street, I believe. I don't watch it, but I know she's in it. But so Pauline was in drinking with us, and a woman at the bar. We were standing at the counter. A woman further along the bar was kind of looking a bit, is that Pauline McGlynn? Is that Pauline McGlynn? And she eventually came over and went, Pauline, is it you? And Pauline McGlynn, very friendly lady, she goes, yeah, that's me. And she went, you won't believe this, but she had a tattoo on her arm of Pauline McGlynn, Mrs. Doyle's catchphrase, go on.
Go on.
Go on. You know, when she was doing the Bob Dylan cards with the go on, go on, go on.
Yeah.
So she had that as a tattoo on her arm, and she got Pauline to pose for a photo with giving the tattoo the thumbs up. So I was wondering if any of our listeners, have you ever met your tattoo in real life?
That's a good question. Yeah. Well, I have
because I suggested to this woman, sorry to interrupt, I suggest you should get Pauline to sign the tattoo, and then you could get that inked over in the tattoo parlour.
Yeah, just below. I was a bit sad, as I said to you, that she didn't have the saying, you will. Yeah,
that's probably down her leg.
Anyway, no, I mean, because I have a tattoo of Gary who's in Different Strokes. Damn, the joke doesn't work if I can't remember it. Who's what you're talking about, Willis? Gary Coleman.
Yes,
that would have worked if I said I've got a big tattoo of Gary Coleman's face on my chest, and I met him once, but I don't. Obviously, I was going to say Gary Wilmot, but I mean that would be an even more odd tattoo, wasn't it? Just you're touring musical singer. That's who I've got a tattoo of. Yeah, if you've ever met your tattoo, that's a great one. And were they both excited?
I think serendipitous is the word you would use to describe such an encounter. A sort of very pleasant coincidence that was perhaps meant to be.
Producer Reese writes, an ex-girlfriend of mine got his name tattooed on her wrist while at university. They were broken up months later. It's not the same. I mean, I suppose you probably did meet, didn't you, after she'd had the tattoo? That's putting a lot of pressure on you, isn't it? If you had... Producer Reese. Do we have? I mean, I have tattoos of all the producers we've had for this show.
Yeah.
And then I have to scrub them off when they've gone. Anyway, Cambridge United promoted yesterday.
Yes, congratulations.
And thanks so much. And the most stressful part of it actually was watching the highlights of Crawley-Salford hours after I knew what had happened, where Salford have one of the most stonewall penalties you've ever seen. I actually thought it might get given, even though I know they didn't get a penalty. So they are absolutely fuming. And they hit the bar twice and they missed a sitter. And you think, but the relief, that because there was the kind of our game finished before their game. So the players were sort of hanging around. Everyone was, the fans were there all looking at their apps.
Did one of them have a phone? There's always one player. He seems to have a phone in his sock or something.
Yeah. One of them, well, they all, because the game had finished and, it was stressful. And then they all ran and it was like, okay, this is heaven. This is relief. We've done it. So well done to Neil Harris. I'm totally delighted. I've just been told, Barry, that my line is bad. Is it bad? Or is
I can hear you fine.
You can hear me fine. Okay, well, everyone can hear me fine.
As long as I can hear you, that's all that matters. Whether the listeners can hear you or not.
It's not.
They're just getting my half of the conversation. They're going, what on earth is going on here?
It's just us. It's all right. No one's listening anymore, Barry. Yeah. It's totally fine. So, yeah, well done to Neil Harris. Well done to Cambridge United. Well done to everybody who was promoted.
If you want to test your line, just slag off David Seaman's save. The one he made from Paul Pescasolido. And if he texts you, then you'll know he can hear.
So I still think it was quite a good save. But yes, the way we test the line is, David Seaman, can you text me? And then we'll find out if he can hear, and then everybody can hear. I don't know if you've seen this, Barry, but Stevenage made the playoffs.
I am aware Stevenage made the playoffs. At
Luton's expense, with a ball that may or may not have crossed the line. And I've watched this about 1 million times, and apparently Luton are absolutely fuming. But it's the way it goes, I guess. It's better not having any VAR. That's what I'd say. Andy Jacobs says, I've got a tattoo of Sean Custis and Henry Winter on my backside. Does that count? Well, of course. And I would expect nothing less, Andy. It is my stepdad says Brooke in Dorking has a Terry Wogan tattoo on his leg and got invited onto the One Show to meet Terry in person. A classic 5-minute TV segment. 8:89 at Max Rushden, at Barry Glendenning. If you'd like to get in touch with us, it is the warm-up brought to you with Travis Perkins. But go big on landscaping with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need at travisperkins.co.uk. We'll do a Premier League review in just a second.
See, that's the Villa. Can you hear me, Villa? You almost open. Hello, beating Gabby Agbon. Can you hear me, Gabby? You almost open. Hello, beating Hooters, Villa Park, Bullring. Legs 11. Can you hear me, Legs 11? You almost open. Hello, beating Prince Willie, big Prince Willie. You almost open. Hello, beating Andy Townsend, Randy Lerner, Ron Saunders, Dane Saunders, Ron Saunders. Dane Saunders, Ron Saunders, can you hear me, Saunders? You almost went hello, beating Hooters, Jory Quarter, Cadbury's World, Jack Grealish, Gabby Agbon Lahore, can you hear me, Gabby? You almost went hello, beating.
Hooters is in Nottingham, by the way.
Hooters, can you hear me, Hooters? You almost went hello, beating. Hooters, can you hear me, Hooters? You almost went hello, beating.
Nottingham Forest take the lead.
Hooters, can you?
Oh, mate, come on.
You almost went hello, beating. Gabby Agbon, hello, beating.
They go to Villa Park next week, 1-0 up. Another UEFA handball, though, leads to a penalty for Chris Wood. Villa fans, did you do enough tonight? It was a bit flat. 03 717 22 33 double for. Vito Pereira, though, looking like a really good appointment for Nottingham Forest right now. Get involved in the show. Elsewhere, Crystal Palace, they got the job done. Tough away day against Shakhtar. They are on their way to the final. Massive, massive result for them. What a season they could end up having.
Over Harvey Barnes with the goal.
But this is a really bad result for Brighton, who've got a big chance at Champions League football next season.
It finished Wolves 1, Sunderland 1, and there was loud boos from the Wolves fan at full time. No change in the table. Wolves still bottom, Sunderland still 12th, and 4 points from 6.
Arsenal 3, Fulham 0. Victor Gyökeres has his second of the first half. Arsenal running riot against Fulham here. Finishes at the Emirates, and Arsenal moves 6 points clear of Man City in the Premier League. This title race is by no means over. Arsenal 3, Fulham 0.
This is from Jim. This is from Lord Farquhar, excuse me. Morning, lads. I have a tattoo of Thomas Edison on my face. Believe it or not, I met him in Aldi a few weeks ago. Thank you. Barney's cat says, unsure if this counts. I met Perry Groves and he thought my Tintin tattoo was him. He also thought he was my hero. Wrong on both counts. Giles, the Aston Villa fan, says, I can hear Max. Shame, really. And this is from Robbie, who says, I met Mick McCarthy once, and if I now go and get a tattoo of him, can I claim it retrospectively? You can if you want. And this may be a joke from Sean in Kent, but he said, my friend has I love suet pudding tattooed on his arm. I asked him why. He said his ex-wife was called Sue, and that was the best sentence he could come up with. Anyway, should we do a Premier League review, Barry?
Why not?
Let's do
Max and Barry's Premier League review on talkSPORT.
Thank you as well for sending us all the tattoos that we can't read out or their locations. Very kind of you. Should we start the Emirates then, Barry?
Yeah. I'm happy to start at the Emirates.
Good for you. I mean, yesterday Lars was on and he pointed out that Fulham had 2 points from all their away games to the top 10 sides.
Right.
And so that was the first time I haven't thought, oh, this looks like a really tricky one. And it wasn't tricky. Arsenal needed this, and I thought they were absolutely brilliant. And Saka is, the way Saka sat down Raul Jimenez. I mean, you don't really want Raul Jimenez there, really, do you? That is. Yeah,
I was wondering because I couldn't remember who the full number 7 was, and I was like, who's just got sat down there? That's bad. Check the squad. Oh, Jimenez, and then I was, why is he there? Where's the fullback? Yeah. But anyway.
But anyway, yeah, Saka did so well. Gyökeres, in the right place. And then Gyökeres does brilliantly for the Saka goal. And then he scores a brilliant header. So, he held out really well in this game. And he hasn't done that all season, I don't think. But he did it in Madrid. He did it yesterday. And so I suppose the main thought I had from this game is, the crowd didn't sound nervous, and maybe the crowd get nervous if their team isn't winning, and perhaps the Arsenal crowd is just a bit like any crowd at a football match.
Well, I thought the Emirates seemed uncharacteristically content yesterday. Everyone seemed happy. I think them scoring an early goal helped. Mikel Arteta was still jumping around like a jack in the box, and I don't know if his touchline antics are performative and affected, or just that's how he is. But it is a constant source of irritation to me that I think he should be a calmer presence on the touchline, and that would help his team to be more calm. But there was no sign of the fear that has been apparent in some Arsenal performances recently. The one Bournemouth springs to mind. Newcastle, I thought they looked very edgy. But yeah, I think the early goals settled the nerves, and the fact that Fulham were hopeless yesterday. Apparently a virus swept through the ranks during the week, and so I suppose they can be excused on that ground. But their record at the Emirates is absolutely pathetic. I think they've
it's hard to play football.
From 34 now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It is hard to play football if you're ill, isn't it? That is, and it's hard to run, it's hard to move, and those things are quite important in football. And so, okay, we can forgive them. So we go to the title race then, Barry. Arsenal have West Ham away, Burnley at home, Palace away. That feels nice, doesn't it? That feels like a nice set of fixtures.
I can't see them dropping a point. I think they'll win those 3 games. I think City's run-in is a lot more difficult on paper anyway. Everton away, Brentford home, Palace home, Bournemouth away, Villa home. So Arsenal have played 2 games more. They've got the 6 points in the bank. They scored 3 goals yesterday without reply. I cannot see Arsenal... Well... I was going to say I cannot see Arsenal blowing it from here, but ... But I can't see them dropping another point.
Yeah, and obviously football fans look at games in hand and just go, "That's a win," and it isn't always a win.
Well, Everton away, that's the potential to be a very tricky fixture. Brentford,
it does,
tricky.
It does, but I can see a situation where they both win all their games. And then it is a shootout.
I don't think City will win all the games. I don't. But
so
they might.
Where are they? They might, but where are they dropping the points? At Everton?
Possibly. I could see them dropping points away at Bournemouth. I could see them dropping points at home to Villa. I think Villa will have nothing. Potential for City to drop points in any of those. There's no gimmies there. They're all hard matches. It depends on how hard their opponents are trying.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? West Ham away is not a gimme. I think Arsenal will win
it is because Arsenal are just so much better than West Ham.
Well, that's true.
And Burnley at home is an absolute gimme. If Arsenal were to drop points at home against relegated Burnley, they deserve to lose the title.
You get a tattoo of a bottle on your forehead. Is that what you're saying?
It's inconceivable that they would drop points at home to Burnley, and yet it would be the most Arsenal thing imaginable.
And I suppose Palace might have a European final to think. I don't know when that is compared to the last day of the season. I presume it's afterwards. It's normally on the Wednesday, is it? And then I'm not sure. But if Palace have that in mind, then they should just not do anything in that game. So no, I think you're right. City's running is harder, but there is every chance that City win all those games. I thought Joe Hart was interesting. When Joe Hart listed the spine of the Man City team on Match of the Day, you were like, okay, these are people who've won stuff, and so that may help them. Graham in Yorkshire says, please someone record Barry's comments on Arsenal's run-in. You're not saying that's what you want to happen. I'm all here for... I think the dream for the neutrals is Arsenal mess up at home to Burnley. That would be good. And then City win the league, but then the charges come through and they deduct enough points that Arsenal win the league, but it doesn't count. That's the dream for the neutrals, isn't it? Whether City have or haven't done, I think we don't know, because those charges, well, who knows when that result will happen. Anyway, so Reece says 27th is the Conference League final, and Arsenal play them on the 24th, so that could really play.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a dream if Palace go through, which they should do. They're 3-1 up going into the second leg, aren't they? Do you want to do Brentford West Ham?
Can we do Wolves Sunderland first?
Yeah, of course.
I want to get your take on the Den Ballard red card.
I wonder, do you think there needs to be different levels of hair pulling? Where a real yank is a red card and a sort of gentle caress is nothing. And this, it's really hard to say because whose hair did he pull? I can't remember, but he has a lot of hair, and it's sort of near the shirt.
Locadera.
And I think
he's not the first person to be sent off for pulling. I think was it him that Michael Keane got. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing his name. Alocadera, the Wolves player, but I think Everton's Michael Keane got his red card for pulling his hair as well.
I just wonder because I imagine he is trying to pull the shirt. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving Dan Ballard too much credit. But all I thought was, which Tottenham player can grow their hair enough ahead of tonight and get in John McGinn's face so much that he pulls it? I don't know. I don't think you should pull someone's hair, but at the same time, there are more egregious challenges that go unpunished. So I wouldn't be sad if that was a yellow, but I'm also not devastated it's a red.
Well,
there are my thoughts.
Wayne Rooney said a match of the day, he said, I cannot believe I am a match of the day talking about hair pulling. And while I agree, I can see his point, I also can't believe that we seem to live in a world where some people think hair pulling is okay. It's acceptable. Because it isn't. Like,
No,
I'm
not
53. I have never, ever accidentally pulled someone's hair. Like, ever.
Have you intentionally pulled someone's hair?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. But how long ago? I mean, I certainly haven't for 3 decades.
I would say since I was a kid.
I'd say 4 decades. I'm 4 decades clean of hair pulls. But I'd have pulled my sister's hair. I'd have given that a yank at some point. She used to can at me, but it was quite scary because she's quite a good dancer. So her legs would come right up near my face. So then, I might get stuck in.
Right, fair enough. So you think if Rocadera had can-canned in front of Dan Ballard, Dan Ballard hair pull should be excused?
If he was singing it as well, if he was going da, 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 da. But I think that's probably violent conduct. If you're kicking at someone's head,
it's a high boot.
High foot is definitely high foot, isn't it? It's surprised they stay on the stage because if the ref came on, or I also wondered if Paul Tierney is the referee, and I don't know if he's a Scouser who sounds the most like Cilla Black, because when he said hair, he said, it was. I mean, I haven't listened to all the refs, but he certainly sounds more like Cilla Black than Jared Gillett. That I can say with confidence. But beyond that,
well, I remember thinking, who was the last player to get sent off for a hair pull? Because I don't know if that was also Paul Tierney, but that referee said her as well.
Really?
I thought he sounded like Audrey Roberts from Coronation Street.
Well, they're all from the same village in Yorkshire, aren't they? I just like him. After review, you're like, oh, come on, not another one.
Number 17.
Kevin Iro. Right. Well, look, we've covered the two most important bits of the football. We'll do Brentford's win over West Ham in just a second. It's Max and Barry with you on talkSPORT. Brought to you with the good people of Travis Perkins with Pay As You Go Higher from Travis Perkins. You don't need a trade account. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk.
Mikel Arteta obviously hasn't been able to call on Bukayo Saka enough over the course of this period. We know he's had a bit of an Achilles problem. Does he still look to you like he's struggling for a little bit of fitness?
Yes.
And if that's the case, how long is that going to take to sort out?
It's going to need managing between now and the end of the season.
He hasn't had surgery on it, has he?
No, and obviously you've got the World Cup coming up as well, and he's going to be a key man there. I wonder how many minutes he'll get this weekend. He got, 21 plus stoppage time in midweek. You think maybe he might get half an hour, 45, and then possibly start against Atletico Madrid. But it's certainly a problem.
Some of these niggling injuries, though.
Well.
Some of these injuries wouldn't surprise me. Saka's still struggling, Sam. And he's come to the stage where he's come back because it's crunch time for Arsenal, even with an injury. There's so many injuries, Crookie, that injections to get you through it, and then you're sore until you play again. You don't train. So they've got to be careful with Saka. But
that was the idea of having the big squad, wasn't it? That
exactly.
You could afford to rotate a bit more.
When players aren't turning up, Madueke starts the game bright against Atletico Madrid, fades, looks angry and he comes off. I don't know why you don't do enough. Odegaard, your captain, you're not doing enough. Eze's probably been the bright spark in the last few games for Arsenal.
It wasn't a bad result, though, was it?
Morning all, it is the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1:30 this afternoon on talkSPORT. Let's do Brentford West Ham then. I mean, I thought West Ham was simultaneously unlucky in this game and defended really badly, which is bad.
I think 3-0 flatters Brentford a little. West Ham hit the post, or hit the woodwork 3-4 times. And so could have gone ahead as well, actually, through Pablo after he gave Sepp Vandenberg the slip, but his shot was saved by Kevin Kelleher. I discovered this week it's Kevin, not Quevin. So
interesting.
Definitively Kevin Kelleher. who I think doesn't look tired enough for a man who has twins.
I think it's a very good point. I'm interested in what's the setup there?
I reckon they have a nanny.
How many nights? Do you reckon they have a night nurse?
Possibly.
Someone's doing the overnights?
I reckon
Mrs. Kelleher's doing a lot.
Oh, Mrs. Kelleher could be doing a lot. Keeveen could be doing more than his fair share. I'm only speculating. I'm sure the Kelleher budget stretches to a night nurse if they need one, and a nanny.
I like to think that he's doing all of it with his goalkeeping gloves on.
Oh, absolutely.
And then going straight to the G-Tech.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if I was a West Ham fan, I'd be feeling a bit sick. You know, the VAR the offside is so close. Juice's delivery is so good at left back for West Ham, but then his tackling is not quite as good. What's he doing there on Ouattara to give away that penalty? And you could just see his teammates going, don't do that, mate. I wouldn't. Please don't do that. And Brentford are, what a season they're having. Like sixth place could be the Champions League. And I don't know, I know, lots of people saying, it probably wouldn't be good for them. And maybe it wouldn't, but they'd still be in the Champions League.
Being in the Champions League would be brilliant for Brentford.
Yeah.
It would be the most sensational thing that's ever happened, Brentford. I don't know how anyone could think otherwise.
I'm torn because I don't really think there should be 6 English sides in the Champions League.
Too many.
But if Brentford are the 6th one, that's certainly better than it, being Chelsea. As long as Chelsea don't get it, right, because they're sort of boring being in it. If Brentford or Brighton or Bournemouth or Fulham or Everton or even Sunderland, it's unlikely they've played a game more, haven't they? But, if one of those could sneak in, it would be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Brentford, Real Madrid. That's what you want, isn't it? Keith Andrews there, chewing gum, going, I'm on a winner here. This is good stuff. But he's amazingly how well they've done, because they didn't just lose Frank. They lost some really important players too. So well done to them.
Well, they lost some important players, and they listed the players they lost on Match of the Day last night. And I think most of the players and Thomas Frank have not exactly covered themselves in glory at their new club. So maybe a little lesson to be learned there for anyone thinking of leaving Brentford.
If you look at the list of Brentford managers, I think since Uwe Rosler, who've left there, very few of them have gone on. Like Keith Andrews can just sit tight for maybe 30 years and just go, it's a good gig, I'm being paid well, I'm having a nice time. Don't get any ideas, Keith. Just keep doing it. So then that brings us to relegation.
Before we move away from Brentford, lovely to see Josh De Silva back on a football pitch.
100%.
I think he's been out 26 months. That's his latest long absence. He's had other long absences as well, but it must be soul. I know you're getting good money, whatever, but it must be soul-destroying to be a footballer who doesn't get to play football for over 2 years, in a row, or for that extended length of time. It must be just devastating. So great to see him back.
Yeah, and also Damsgaard has had a really good season. He could absolutely go to Spurs and ruin his career. I could just see him in a Tottenham shirt.
Look, Christian Nørgaard went to Arsenal. He can't get a sniff of a game. And I thought he'd play yesterday, but it was Miles Lewis-Skelly who was beside Declan Rice.
He did play very well, actually.
He did play well.
Lewis-Skelly was excellent.
I'd love to know what's going on there with Christian Nørgaard, because he's a good player, but Mikel Arteta clearly does not like the cut of his jib.
Okay, then Spurs have 34 from 34. West Ham 36 from 35. Forest, if you want to include them, 39 from 34. So West Ham have Arsenal at home, Newcastle away, Leeds at home. So how many points are you giving them there?
Sorry, what was it?
Arsenal at home, Newcastle away, Leeds home.
I'll give them 4 at a push.
You give them 4 at a push?
Yeah.
Right, a point at St James's Park. It's very hard to say, isn't it? I think, if Newcastle have, I don't know if they've turned a corner, but, that was a decent win yesterday. Then Spurs have Villa away. Villa should rest everyone today. They are, he says out of hope, but they should, because the Forest game, they're behind against Forest. They're definitely going to get top 5. They basically need 1 win to be certain of top 5, I think. So Spurs have Villa away tonight, then Leeds at home, Chelsea away, Everton at home. So how many can they get from that?
I think Spurs will stay up. I think that last week's game was the crucial one for Spurs. I think they'll probably beat Villa today, and Yeah, I mean, as much as funny as it would be for them to go down, I do think that defeat for West Ham yesterday is like going to have a big. Well, obviously, it's going to have a big say in the relegation battle. But
no, I agree with that.
I think Tottenham will be okay. I did say that if Tottenham beat Wolves, they'd probably go on a bit of a run, and I still think that's the case.
Sure, but no Solanke, no Xavi Simons. I think this is so crucial today. I know people keep saying it's about must win, but if they win this and they get out, and then they have Leeds at home, who should hopefully be on the beach by now, they're not going to get anything at Chelsea because Tottenham have never got anything at Chelsea. I don't think they've ever won at Chelsea in the history of football. I cannot recall ever going to Stamford Bridge and getting anything.
Well, we had a discussion during the week, Max, on our podcast that.
Mm-hmm.
I said that I didn't think Brentford's players would be particularly fussed whether they qualified for the Conference League or not, because the Conference League is a bit meh. And you said any footballer who ever sets foot on a pitch, correct me if I'm wrong, wants to win.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, I have since had a esprit d'escalier.
Right, a road to Damascus moment.
No, where you think of something clever, but it's too late.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get a crub at it. I don't know if you saw it, Max, but Chelsea's game against Brighton. Now, those Chelsea players did not want to win. And you talk about players, I have definitely seen, teams being on the beach, that's a thing. It's where players, they don't necessarily don't want to win, but they're not trying particularly hard.
What you said was, would a Brentford player be that bothered about qualifying for any European competition? And if you look at that squad...
No, that's not true, Max. That is... you're lying again.
I didn't mean to lie.
I said they specifically wouldn't be that bothered about qualifying for the Conference League. Because
I disagree with that.
League
I disagree
is
with
a
that.
bit Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, but it means they could win it. And how many of those Brentford players have played in Europe? I really think they would be absolutely buzzing. The whole club, including all the players. I think it's different if you say the Chelsea squad qualifying for the Conference League or, the Villa one or the Liverpool one, but I really think that Brentford squad. I don't want to disagree with you 2 weeks in a row, Barry. And I don't want to lie to you again.
Yeah. I mean, I'm only saying that because you're all about honesty on the radio.
I believe in honesty, yeah. What did you make of Newcastle's win over Brighton?
It was impressive. It was overdue. I didn't see it coming, if I'm honest. It was interesting that Eddie Howe's PIF overlords were present because I think they had their annual performance review in some posh hotel in Northumberland during the week. And I'd say that probably wasn't a massively comfortable experience for Eddie Howe and various other members of the Newcastle hierarchy, not least their whoever was responsible for their summer signings. Might have had some explaining to do. But, a much-needed win for Newcastle. I didn't think there was any particular danger of them getting relegated, but, they needed a win just to sort of... I think the mood at St James's Park was definitely getting a bit mutinous, and that will have helped. But it will be interesting to see what happens with PIF and Newcastle, because... PIF, they've sacked off the Live Golf. They've sacked off that very lucrative snooker tournament they had in Riyadh or Jeddah, wherever it was. The one, with the golden ball that had equal or if not better prize money than the World Championships. So they're getting a bit more hands off in certain sports, and if they cool their interest in Newcastle, like this training ground they've been talking about, there's no sign of that being delivered yet. They haven't bought a site. And there still seems to be no decision being made on whether they're going to stay at St James's Park and increase the size of it or move somewhere else. So, watch this space, I suppose, as far as Newcastle is concerned.
Matt says, you shouldn't lie, Max, and regards this adversarial disagreement we're having, Barry. Adam says, keep it going, lads. This is White and Jordan stuff. Thanks so much. It is Max and Barry with you on the warm-up with Travis Perkins. With Pay-As-You-Go Hire from Travis Perkins, you don't need a trade account. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk. Lee Phelps will join us in just a second. We'll get the team news from the Hibs-Celtic game and the Man City-Liverpool game, the WSL.
seem to think that there is some connection between the nationality of the Forest manager and the nationality of the official.
You can't go.
You can't go doing that on social media and not expect us to bring it up.
No. What I said was, should we look into that? I'm not saying that's the reason, but VAR official was Portuguese, not the referee. The referee, he had a fantastic game, by the way, the ref, I thought. Maybe he didn't see that incident, but for VAR official, his name is Tiago Martins, Portuguese referee. For him to not tell the ref to come and look at the screen of that tackle, I was very disappointed in. Listen, first of all, Elliot Anderson was the best player on the pitch.
What about the nutmeg on Rodgers?
I know, that's his mate as well. And he's posted it on his socials as well. But no one can tell me that watches football week in, week out, that's not a red card. Because did he get the ball first? You can argue yes. But we've seen so many players get red cards in the last 2 years when you follow through and you hit a player like that. Watkins stayed down, the ball went out of play. How can the referee not be told to go to VAR? Baffling.
I think you're absolutely right, but I also don't think Aston Villa were good enough in the game.
Oh, 100%. I'm not making excuses for Villa's performance. Buendia, soft.
Morning all, it is the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1:30. Let's get team news from the Scottish Premiership with Hearts and Rangers playing tomorrow. It's a big day for Celtic. They go to Hibs. It's a midday kickoff. David Tanner will be watching for talkSPORT.
And Max, Celtic will draw level on points with league leaders Hearts if they win this afternoon. Hearts play Rangers tomorrow night, of course. Celtic have the reassuring sight of right-back Alistair Johnson starting a game for the first time since injuring a hamstring fully 6 months ago. Johnson replaces Anthony Ralston. One other change from Martin O'Neill is that James Forrest makes way for Sebastian Tunetke. Hibs have 3 regulars suspended today. Goalie Rafael Salinger and midfielder Felix Paslak were sent off last week. World Cup bound Grant Hanley is also banned. Goalkeeper Jordan Smith starts in goal for the first time in 8 months. 4 changes in total for Hibs, with Jack Ardell, Canayo Maguire and captain Joe Newell all coming in. It's Hibernian against Celtic, kick-off at midday.
Thank you, David. Did David sound a bit like the Smash advert? Do you remember those little mashed potato aliens just then? Maybe Matt Jones has a better line. Who knows? He's going to be watching Man City versus Liverpool in the WSL. Hey, Matt.
Afternoon or good morning still. 10 years have passed since Manchester City were last crowned WSL champions, but a win today will put them on the cusp of ending that drought. Arsenal's games in hand mean they can't quite seal it today, but a point from Andre Eglert's side mean that Chelsea wouldn't be able to catch them. They did surprisingly lose to Brighton last week, and there's one change from that game. Laura Blinkild is on the bench with Sam Coffey, her replacement in midfield. So it's Yamashita in goal, Kasper Riege, Rose, Knack and Greenwood are across the back. The 2 holding midfielders will be Hasegawa and Coffey, with Fagino, Carolyn and Hent behind Shaw up top. As for Liverpool, they're now safe from relegation after a recent run of 7 points from 4 games, coupled with Leicester's poor form. A 3-match unbeaten run did come to an end against West Ham last time out, and Gareth Taylor makes 3 changes. Kirsty McLean and Alice Bergstrom are on the bench, while there's no Cornelia Capox, Denise O'Sullivan, Aurelie Chalage and Mia Enderby come in. So it's Falk, then a back 4 of Shamizu, Clark, Fisk and Bernard. O'Sullivan and Nagano sit in front of them, with Chalage, Enderby and Holland supporting Olsen up top. It's Manchester City against Liverpool in the WSL.
Thanks, Matt. Let's look at the latest odds out of today's action with William Hill.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Ben Barrett joins us. Hey, Ben.
Hello, Max. How are you? Congratulations to Cambridge United. What a day yesterday. Promotion.
Thank you so much. I didn't have a lot to do with it, if I'm brutally honest.
You had a little part, I'm sure.
A little part to play. No, it's a massive relief, actually, because when you're sort of been in the when you basically should have gone up. And we just basically fell over the line. I think we won 2 of the last 7. It gets quite stressful. So yeah, it's great to be in League One, and now we can circle the drain and maybe stay up in League One. That's the dream next season. 3 games of the Premier League today, Ben. Should we start with the 2 o'clock kick-off, Bournemouth Palace?
Some of us in non-league, by the way, dream of the day we can circle the drain in League One. Don't worry about that. Ben? I'm Yeovil Town.
Right. Okay. All right. And so forgive me. I don't look that far down.
Somewhere close to the bottom of the National League.
Right, okay.
Down there with the minnows. It's fine. Okay. It's fine. Our day will come.
One day. Exactly, it will.
Let's talk Bournemouth. Bournemouth at 8-13 to get the victory against Crystal Palace. Palace, of course, have bigger fish to fry. They are concentrating fully on European exploits. They're 19-5 to win down at the Vitality. The draw is 29-10. Here at William Hill, we've got something called Gold Weekend this weekend, and every single game comes with an epic boost. And for this one, it's simple. We just want both teams to score. Heavy odds on price is now bang on even money. I think Bournemouth are the right favourites, but I do think both teams are definitely worthy of a goal in that one.
Manchester United Liverpool is a 3:30 kickoff.
Yeah, it is, and it's a big one, isn't it? For multiple reasons. Man United are 5-4 to get the win in that one at Old Trafford. The draw 13-5. Liverpool 9-5. As I mentioned, epic boost available on all of our games today. Man United to score in the first half. Doesn't matter how the game ends. Doesn't even matter if they're behind at the time. Is now again even money from a heavy odds on price. Bruno Fernandes to score or assist is given a bit of support as well. Bruno Fernandes to assist a goal, which would take him to the tied record, is 7-4.
And then probably the biggest game of the day, certainly for me, is Tottenham's trip to Aston Villa. How do you see it?
Yeah, Villa are 11-10. They were a little bit shorter, but obviously they've got to turn things round against Forest in the Europa League. So I just think that there's a little bit of support coming for Spurs here, with Villa having their eyes possibly slightly distracted, but they need the points as well. The draw 12-5, Spurs are 9-4. Villa to score the first goal in this one is the epic boost available at even money. You mentioned how significant it is for Spurs. Spurs are even money to be relegated. West Ham at 10-11. It's pretty much 1 from 2 for those who have dropped down. If Villa win today, those Spurs odds I think will flip around.
God, it's agonising, isn't it? What about this? The top of the Scottish Premiership is still really interesting, isn't it? You've got Hibs playing Celtic today, and then it's a 5:30 kickoff tomorrow. Hearts playing Rangers.
Yeah, Celtic at 8-15 to get the points that they need today away at Hibs. I saw some funny comments from a Hibs player saying, we're not going to throw things away just so Hearts don't win the league. But they are 4-1 at home, which is a big enough price as it is. The draw is 17-5. In terms of who wins it, Celtic are favourites, 11-10 to lift the William Hill Scottish Premiership. Hearts are 13-10. Rangers are 7-2 outsiders now.
And the snooker finally?
Yeah, it's a pick 'em. There's not a lot between them at all. Sean Murphy 10-11. Wu Yij is also 10-11. Sean Murphy was last world champion 21 years ago in 2005. We've got an epic boost on this as well, and it's simple. Sean Murphy to win the first frame. Was 5-6, is now 5-4. It's been a long time since he was back at the very top of this game. He is 10-11 to lift his second world title. Like I say, over 2 decades since he lifted his first.
Good stuff, Ben. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks very much.
That was today's odds with William Hill's Gold Weekend. More offers all weekend. Golden. Visit williamhill.com for the latest offers. T's and C's apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18+. Gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Just on that snooker, Baz. Yesterday, Charlie and I would suggest snooker ignoramuses. And Charlie, feel free to correct me. Snookeramuses. We were laughing at no one potting a ball for 55 minutes. And you were saying, actually, this was snooker at its absolute best.
That's not quite what I said. The frame in question that you were talking about.
Again.
I'd say I've been a snooker fan since I was 10, and I've never seen a frame like that before. So from that regard, it was really fascinating just to see all the reds down, clustered around one corner pocket with the black blocking the route into the pocket.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you had 8 reds left on the table, and they're all gradually inching towards this one black, which is blocking the pocket. So no one can pot a red without potting the black, fouling. So it was fascinating in that regard, just to see how it would resolve itself, because the ref has the power to step in and go, lads, this is going nowhere. We have to have a re-rack.
Do they have a drop ball? That's what they have a drop. Do they have a drop ball?
No, they re-racked the reds and start the frame again. But the later it was going on, the chances of doing that, because they just didn't have the time to do it, because the next two players were waiting to come on, and they were already like about 50 minutes ahead of schedule. So if every frame of snooker was like that, the game would end. Like no one would want to play it or watch it. But just to see it happen that once was fascinating. And Mark Allen, who we've already mentioned, that black he missed, good God, he'll think about that every day for the rest of his life. He eventually was forced just to foul the black, just to move the frame along, and he lost the frame and went on to lose the match.
But why did he have to do that? Why did, and not the other guy?
I'm not sure if he blinked first or if he was under pressure from the ref. So, because I was watching it, I was out drinking my celebrity chum, Pauline McGlynn. So
Got it.
It was on the TV in the pub, but we didn't have the benefit of the commentary.
Oh, I see. So you were saying, I'll talk to you after this frame, Pauline.
Yeah.
And then an hour later.
Well, I'm remarkable, Max, in that I can watch snooker and talk at the same time.
Wow,
That is why
what
I
a
get,
talent.
Yeah, I should be a snooker commentator, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I love snooker. I've watched it for years and years, and that is one of the most remarkable frames I've ever seen.
If you can watch snooker and talk at the same time, snooker commentator is the job for you, isn't it? Like, that's really made.
I'm not sure I want to be a snooker, but I believe the commentators were part of the problem during that frame.
Oh, really?
Because I know if you ever watch the snooker, you see people that have those earpieces in, those little radios that you rent them or buy them for £5 or £10 or something. So you attach it to your ear and you can hear the commentators. So what the commentators are saying influences the crowd. And the commentators decided that this frame was an outrage. It was just bringing the game of snooker into disrepute. And the more they criticised what was going on, the more angry the crowd got, because they were taking the lead from the commentators. So then they were booing, there was slow hand claps, etc., and so on.
God, it was like Galatasaray away.
It was a bit. I mean, you don't tend to get that at the Crucible.
No.
I've been to Crucible. The first thing you notice is, wow, this is much smaller than you think. And B, then you're in a constant state of anxiety over whether or not you've switched off your phone. So I always, while you hear someone's phone going off and you just think, oh God, I feel for that person, because they haven't done it on purpose. And as soon as they realise
will be
it's their
shunned
phone
from snooker for the rest of their life. Anyway, it is Max and Barry on the warm-up here till 1:30. We'll do some Ipswich Town next.
Let's squeeze one more in. Here's the fourth.
Morning, Sean. Ali here, big Arsenal fan. I know you love a curry just like me, but I want to know, what's the best order at a curry house for Sean Dice?
Ali, it's a fair shout. Well, it always starts with Kingfisher or Cobra, obviously. Poppadoms, standard. Mixed platter sometimes. I do the full mixed grill kind of platter. But not for me. I mean, what I do, get it on the table. Everyone has a munch. Everyone dives in.
I do like the hot ones. If I'm in the mood, which is rare because it's so hot, is a chicken tikka or a prawn naga, which is incredibly hot. Jalfrezi, still hot, but, you know, manageably hot. But now and again, you just want something a bit of flavoursome, even like something soft like a butter chicken mixed with a bit of naga. You get that going on, and you're really on to a winner then.
Yeah.
Pilau rice I like normally on mushroom rice. Garlic coriander naan. Now and again a chili naan, depending on what food I'm having. Onion bhaji. Anything else that's on the go, I just love it on there because I do love a pint and a curry. It's my.
I like a bit of mehdi gosht, and you've got to have dal. You've got to have taka dal. You just
Koister. I'm going to tell you, Koister's lad.
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend, even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. They'd been introduced not for leg protection, but instead to give batters a strategic advantage. The idea was that batters could put their leg pads in front of the wicket if they missed the ball, preventing them from being bowled out. Obviously, that all changed when the LBW rule came in, but that was the theory behind them. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Apparently, he'd broken his leg in a match against Sheffield United in 1874 and wanted to stop it from happening again. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads, sewed them into his socks and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. Ta-da! Shin pads. Like all great genius inventors, everyone took the mickey at first. To be fair, he probably looked quite stupid running around with these on. But it's thought his whole Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this protection was pretty important for footballers. Multiple studies have shown wearing shin pads clearly reduces the risk of players getting lower leg injuries. And so in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became a part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says pads must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, and players can get away with a lot. A lot of grassroots clubs are choosing to ban micro shin pads for obvious reasons though, especially after a 15-year-old player from Penistone Church broke his leg while wearing them. Still no change from IFAB though. That's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
the story can change in an instant. Will it be instant promotion back to the Premier League for Ipswich here, making it 3 promotions in 4 years? Taylor plays it into Davis on the overlap, across the face, he got it in! George Hurst, right in front! What a start for Ipswich! Nerves are settled, they've got that early goal. What an electric start.
Like I said, we've had some tough
tough results this year where we've come on the wrong end of it. Going to the last day of the season with knowing that it's in our hands is a credit to ourselves.
It's in Villagey, tries to turn and Benga, and pokes it home. It's 2-0. It's just been an absolutely outstanding start from Ipswich.
I mean, I've worked hard all season. It's not found my way, but in recent weeks, I felt like a different player, and to see the net ripping on a day like this, it's dreams like this you made as a kid, so yeah, it's been brilliant.
We've got to enjoy these moments, how difficult the season is. The ups and downs, the emotions. Casey McAteer seals the deal for Ipswich Town. They're heading back to the Premier League now, no doubt about it.
This one's been a little bit different, but just as difficult, if not more so. So yeah, a real relief to win it on the last day and to see everyone happy and not disappoint everyone.
Yeah, big win, and they won it early, didn't they? So Ipswich promoted, 84 points. Millwall third on 83. Amazing from them. They'll play Hull in the playoffs, and Southampton will play Middlesbrough. Let's talk to Craig Fimbo from the Blue Monday Ipswich podcast, part of the talkSPORT fan network. Congratulations, Craig. How are you feeling?
Yeah, okay, thanks very much, Max. Yes, probably not quite as exuberant or hungover than it were 2 years ago, but no, it was a case of getting the job done yesterday.
Yeah, and a lot. I mean, there are ways to go up. You know, obviously, as a Cambridge fan, I was sitting there in the 94th minute after our game was finished, still waiting. And so you have that kind of total release because it's like you just are so stressed about what's happening elsewhere. This one, sort of 10 minutes in, it was like you could just have a party.
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, the Friday night, I was pretty confident. Waking up Saturday morning, not quite so confident because you just don't know. You know, the championship is the championship. Teams can pull a performance out of nowhere, but to score after 3 or 4 minutes and then to score again before 10 minutes, then as you say, it's job done. The sun was out, and it was one of those end of season games that the supporters dream of, really.
Craig, you say job done. You go up now. What do you need to do during the summer? And will you take heart from, say, the likes of Leeds and Sunderland going up last season and staying up and giving pretty good accounts of themselves?
Yeah, well, we've got to really, and what we'll have to do is, like Sunderland and Leeds to a certain extent, is rebuild the team. Sadly, we lost a lot of important players and voices from the team that got us promotion going into this year, which hence why it probably took us a little while to get going this year, because we took such a double step, 2 promotions back to back. We got into the Premier League before we were ready for it, and realistically, we still had very much a League One structure, League One background in terms of transfer. The departments that look after transfers, etc. That wasn't there last time we came into the Premier League. So, as a result, we sort of recruited from what we knew, the markets that we knew, which was the Championship, and we bought a lot of top-end Championship players, which is probably as good as we could have wished for at that particular time. What that did was it raised the floor of our squad, if you like. It gave us a base that we worked on this year and has got us promotion this year, but it puts us in a stronger position, you would hope, this summer to recruit from certainly a position of strength relatively to what we were 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm a Sunderland fan, Craig. I always feel a bit sorry for most of the team that got them promoted through the playoffs last season were kind of jettisoned in favour of new recruits brought in during the summer. As Trey Hume, Dan Ballard, and to a lesser extent Luke O'Nien are really the only players that are still in the squad or playing regularly. But I suppose you need that kind of ruthlessness, don't you, if you are to thrive in the top flight?
100%. Yeah, you're right. And we've obviously had Dan Neil from you guys as well, who's helped us towards the end of this season from January onwards. But if you take, like you had to take your red tinted glasses off, we'll take our blue tinted glasses off, and you look at the squad as a whole. Now we know what the Premier League was like from 2 years ago. It's not going to become as much of a surprise to anyone, you would hope. And what you may see is that those players who've helped get us promoted this year may take a step back and become more squad players. And you will have to scout a little bit further afield, go into Europe a bit further, maybe over into the Americas, and find these gems that, because we're not going to have a huge budget. We'll have a Premier League budget, but a lower Premier League budget. So we're going to have to be very clever and very tactical when it comes to the transfers coming in. But they will need to be first choice. We're not after squad fillers this time round. They need to be first choice and starters.
No, I haven't watched huge amounts of Ipswich, but from the highlights I just watched there, you're playing quite nice football. And if you look at what Leeds did and what Sunderland done, is this is an oversimplification, but they bought some big lumps to they've sort of chosen physicality. So does that, do you have any big oafs there that can do that, or do you need to, get some muscle in?
Yeah, we will do. We'll need to get some height and some strength in. We did purchase some players ready for this season, and they are all 5'8", 5'9", technically decent players, but they're lightweight. They're going to be pushed off the ball and eaten alive in the Premier League. That's what we found last year when we went up. We had a lot of diminutive players, should we say, and they were just looking up to these players every single Saturday. And you hit 6'2", 6'3", run 100 meters in 10 seconds, and it was a complete culture shock for us. So, yeah,
which is funny, isn't it? Because it feels like that's League Two. You sort of imagine. Of course, there are brilliant players in the Premier League who are tiny, but it is interesting if you're not in the top. I suppose the point is you have the ball this season. You have the ball all the time, and suddenly you go up a division, you just don't have the ball, and that is a different way of playing football.
That's right. You've got to win it back and then do something very, very quickly once you've got it, haven't you? Because teams are so quick to get back and get in position and get themselves solid again. This year's probably been far more pragmatic, shall we say, measured than it was when we went up 2 years ago. We rode the crest of a wave, lightning in a bottle, whatever phrase you want to use for that promotion team 2 years ago. I say we just rode that wave and probably caught everyone on the hop, similar to what Millwall and to a certain extent Coventry have done this year, really. But yeah, there will need to be a lot of transfers in. You would have thought, and it's not something that our CEO Mark Ashton is shy of. To be fair, he does like dabbling in the transfer market.
All right, good stuff. Oh, well, thanks for coming on, Craig. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Craig.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Craig Finbow there from the Blue Monday Ipswich podcast, part of the talkSPORT fan network. At the other end, I don't know if you saw, Sheffield Wednesday reached the magic 0 points with a win on the last day. But I don't know if did you see this on their big screen? Because
the countdown
yes. Of the number of points that they've been deducted. Because I think originally they had a 15-point deduction going into League One, and it has been wiped out for reasons that I'm not quite sure of, and perhaps I should.
I think because they've been taken over, and anyway, yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. But it has been. They will not have a 15, 16-point deduction starting in League One next season. So that's
and maybe the fans knew it, but it's the way the big screen just did the countdown, 15, 14, and then on 9 it's stuck on 9 for a bit. They're like, oh, is it 9-point deduction? And then it's stuck on 2, 1, and then it's 0, and you think the new owner, hopefully that is all sorted, all goes through, and someone who cares about the club, and they can build again, and they will be hopefully quite a force in League One next year. But
well, a lot of people care about that club because their attendance yesterday at Hillsborough was massive. The place was stuffed.
Well, don't say what it was, just in case it comes up later in the programme. There's every chance, isn't it? It's Max and Barry with you on the warm-up, brought to you with Travis Perkins. With pay-as-you-go hire from Travis Perkins, you don't need a trade account. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk. We'll play the footballer game in just a second. Me versus Barry versus Alfie Reynolds versus Perry Groves.
So we'll talk Watford in a moment because you two have got a common interest in that. But let's talk Manchester United manager for a month. Do you think Michael Carrick is a shoe-in now? Should he be a shoe-in?
Probably, yeah, probably. I think his job was to come in, settle it all down, get them playing with a bit more confidence, a bit more freedom, and I think that's exactly what he's done. And I think if you try and look at some of the alternatives, I just would struggle to see who could get a better tune out of Manchester United. They've got a good team, Man United. They've got good players. It's just about getting them out there and not worrying about the weight of playing for Manchester United, and that's what Carras has done. So I just think it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you do it now?
I mean, their expectations at the start of the season, Sean. The maximum expectation or hope would have been Champions League. So he's achieved that. What more could he have done?
Yeah, no, I agree. And what Ben was saying there. I mean, you get put in the role. I mean, I got a bit of stick. I did with Keno their podcast, and I said about Amaron, I said, well, if you simplified, did a 4-4-2, I'm sure win more games. And Carrick's gone in there and he has simplified it. He's got the round pegs in round holes. They've signed some really good players before he took over.
Afternoon, it's Max and Barry with you on the warm-up until 1:30. Adrian Durham hosting Game Day Live after us. Perry will be in Bournemouth. Scott Pinto's Scott's in the studio. Adrian's at Old Trafford for that one. Celtic goalless at Hibs. Currently 17 minutes gone in these games. The Women's Super League. Man City 0, Liverpool 0, and Spurs have 1 up on London City. It'd be good if the women could give the men the goal just today. Just if they could just pass those over, please. Anyway, let's play the footballer game. Today it's me versus Barry versus our team at Bournemouth. Alfie Reynolds is there. Hey, Alfie.
Hi, Max. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Perry Grove's there too. Hi, mate.
Hello, Max. How are you doing? Hello, Baz. How are you doing?
Very good.
Hello, Perry.
I'm good.
Perry, are you feeling happier after that victory over Fulham?
Just tick another box, Max. That's all it is. Tick another one off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody just quietens down until Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then the nerves come back again.
No, absolutely right. But I think the Champions League is different, isn't it? Like, I mean, you should probably win on Tuesday, but I don't know. Would you prefer... It feels like the Champions League is sort of... It's dumb to say it's a free hit, but it's not the same as the Premier League, is it? Because, you should win this Premier League given how well you've played. Whereas, you look at the other Champions League semi-final and you go, well, if you get beaten by PSG or Bayern, that is not a crime.
Yeah, but the thing is, Max, if we get through to the final, and it's obviously an if we play Bayern or PSG, there will be tactics from us in that game. When Bayern and PSG play each other, there's no tactics, is there? They just they play 2-8 and go, away you go, let's see who can score most.
Yeah, which is why
that not a tactic,
more fun.
Perry?
Pardon? No, it's nothing. Baz, is it? When have you seen teams play 2-8? Go on then.
It's a tactic.
No, but the thing is, they don't go out to play 2-8. That's just how they play.
Right.
So there isn't a tactic. Oh, that's been a bit facetious there, hasn't he, eh?
I wouldn't say facetious. Maybe I would. Yeah, maybe you're right. Okay, well, Alfie, what's your footballer game record, Alfie?
The word I'd have gone
pedantic, yeah, I'd say pedantic. Alfie, what's your footballer game record?
Oh, absolutely atrocious, Max. Yeah, but it's delighted to be back and probably making up the numbers. But let's see. Maybe I'll surprise a few people.
Have you ever got one right?
I think once. Yeah, I think once. And actually, do you know what? I think it was when I was at Bournemouth as well, so maybe it's a good
vibes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's synergy, energy.
Exactly.
Yes.
Can you remember the player you got?
No, I actually can't.
All right,
sure.
He doesn't care about the game. Real players care. They remember. That's it. I got Danny Dichio in 2022. Anyway, Reese is here. Hi, Reese.
Hi.
Out of 10, how are you?
Oh, we'll go for an 8. No 2-day hangover, so we're good.
Good stuff. Okay, let's play it.
Our first footballer began his career at Preston North End in 1995, staying until 1997.
David Nugent.
Nope, scoring 3 times in 48 games.
John Mackin.
Nope, he then joined West Brom, where he stayed between 97 and 99, scoring 15.
Kevin Kilbane.
It is Kevin Kilbane.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
Oh, well, Barry Glendenning has arrived.
Spiky Baz is on fire.
The 3rd of May, 2026. Remember the name, Barry Glendenning. There you are.
Do you know what? That's what a marathon does for you.
Half marathon.
Is he a friend of yours, Barry? Is it fair to say? Or is that going too far? Acquaintance.
Acquaintance, yeah. I think I have his number, so you know.
Right, okay.
He would probably reply to a WhatsApp message if I sent him.
Right, but you wouldn't call him for a chat.
No, he did once invite me for a weekend on the Lash in Dublin, but I couldn't go.
Okay, there we are, close enough. Perry, is he a friend of yours?
Kevin Kilban, by association, because I know Baz, and now I know Kevin.
Of course.
Kilban.
Yeah. Okay, well, it seems
But
like
he wouldn't reply to me on the WhatsApp.
I think he lives in Canada now, does he, Kevin?
Who knows?
I mean, if we were good buddies, I'd probably know what country he lives in. So make of that
Alfie,
what you will.
Alfie, do you have any strong thoughts on Kevin?
Well, I know him by association because I know Perry, who knows Baz, who knows.
Got it.
Kevin,
I understand.
Very popular man, Kevin Kilban. Very popular.
Gaz says, I've added Kevin Kilban to the spreadsheet. Well done, Baz. Thank you, Gaz, the Wolves fan from Telford. Right, let's go player 2.
Our second footballer began his career at Ipswich Town in 1998, where he stayed until 2002, scoring once in 48 games and also spending 2 games out on loan at Colchester United for the 99-2000 season. He then moved on to Newcastle, where he stayed between 2002 and 2007. Nope, where he scored 3 times in 105 games. He then
Titus Bramble?
It is Titus Bramble.
Oh, some good guessing.
South Coast. South Coast Energy.
I'm going to remember that one. I'll remember that one, I promise you.
Okay, good. Never forget. Here we go, Alf. Look, the whole idea is this is meant to take us to about 12:27, Naz. It's 12:22. So, come on.
So what you're saying, if you know it, just eke it out.
Nobody guessed. I hope it's a tricky. I hope it's one of those Esteban Cambiasso ones that we're stuck going. If Nigel Quasi walked in here, then we know.
In full
Terry in Portsmouth. Terry in Portsmouth says, Barry got an answer right on the footballer game. Thousands will claim this, but I can honestly say I was there. Yet in years to come, there'll be 25 million people who heard this, wouldn't they?
No, that's harsh. I mean, I'll get a few, but that's one of the earliest ever. My record is getting Kevin Phillips on the Baldock of Baldock Town. That Kilban is not quite up there, but getting Kilban off Preston West Brom, I think, is very good.
Okay, here we go, player 3.
Our final footballer began his career at Guingamp in 2007, staying until 2012, scoring 13 goals in 59 games. He then moved on to Leicester City, where he stayed between 2012 and 2015, scoring 13 in 93. He then went to Standard Liège in Belgium, where he stayed for just the one season, 2015-16, scoring 5 in 20, before moving back to the Premier League with Brighton, where he stayed between 2016 and 2020. He scored 25 goals in 127 games for the Seagulls, also taking in the 19-20 season on loan at Fulham, where he scored 3 in 38 before making the move permanent between 2020 and 2023, but only making 8 appearances and not scoring. He was loaned to Nottingham Forest for the 2020-2021 season, where he scored twice in 34, before being loaned to Volos for the 2022-23 season, where he scored once in 9, and loaned to Huddersfield Town in 2023, where he didn't score in 5 games.
Andy Booth.
Nope. Before moving back to France to finish his career with Valenciennes, where he scored once in 21 games in the 2023-2024 season.
French?
Leicester, Brighton, Fulham.
French Leicester players. Was that the title-winning year, or the one before that?
He made 3 appearances and scored the 1 goal for the French under-21s in 2012.
Ah, now I've got it.
There it is.
You see, you wanted some air filler, Max. You got it. There you go.
You know, I got it. You're really good.
Is he a winger?
Leicester, Brighton. How many games did he play for Brighton?
He played 127 times for Brighton, scoring 25 goals.
God.
It's got to be a
Who's a Frenchman who scored that many for Brighton? It's almost centre forward levels, isn't it? It's like a low scoring centre forward or a really impressive midfielder. Maybe a winger.
Knockaert?
You're right, Perry.
It was Anthony Knockaert, yeah.
Anthony Knockaert. Say it with confidence, Alfie.
That is
very impressive.
I tell you what, I can report. You see his little face light up. He sat there pretending that he wasn't bothered, and now he's got a brace.
I'm pretty shocked, I'll be honest by that, but I'll take it.
There you go. Well done, Alfie. Ben just got it as well. Another text. Yes, lots of people now writing Anthony Knockaert, but they all came after Alfie Reynolds. Well done, Alfie. Good stuff.
Thank you, gents.
Alfie 2, Perry 1. No, Alfie 2, Barry 1. Perry nil. Did you have a guess, Perry?
No.
No, I don't think
I don't think a name came.
No, terrible.
Confidence is low. Confidence is low.
Yeah.
Overthinking,
Right.
I think. Overthinking.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Sorry, can I read out a text we just got, Perry? Perry Groves is a prime example of why absolutely nobody wants Arsenal to win this league. Some superiority complex about how tactically astute Arsenal are. Go away, Perry. No name on that one, Perry.
I didn't say they were tactically astute. I said there are tactics. See? It's just a minor point.
Listen, Perry, go away. Come back in 20 minutes. Perry Groves there and Alfie Reynolds at
Cheerio.
Bournemouth. Thank you, Reese. Let's go to David Tanner. Red card in the game between Hibs and Celtic.
Burnley 0, so down to 10 men. It's their 4th red card in 3 games for Hibernian. Jamie McGrath, Hibs Irish midfielder, was late and above the ankle on Alistair Johnson. It was a VAR on-field review. I'm not sure why the referee didn't call it right first time, but the referee, David Dickinson, has shown a red card. So Hibs down to 10 men for the final 3 quarters of the game. Hibs 0, Celtic 0.
I like that David Dickinson was reffing this one. So I've been told to reiterate that was a red card for Hibs because no one can hear a word David Tanner is saying. But, you know, you've got what you've got there is some great atmosphere and a real feeling. But Hibs down to 10. So a real opportunity for Celtic. But I can't remember. Who was it? Hearts. Hibs were down to 9 against Hearts, weren't they? And they really dug in that game. So nothing is done. Nothing is done. But a really big chance now for Celtic to get 3 points. That game between Rangers and Hearts tomorrow. It's a 5:30 kickoff. So they will be watching eagerly, I imagine, as to what happens at Easter Road the rest of this afternoon. It's Max and Barry with you on the warm-up until 1:30. Brought to you with Travis Perkins with Pay As You Go Higher from Travis Perkins. You don't need a trade account. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk. You're on Mars, David, says Matthew. Thank you so much. We'll do some Spurs, or do we have to? We'll do some Spurs next.
Hey, Jay Trace, how are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Love it to see you. You look great today, if you don't mind.
You as well, you know.
That's very kind of you.
We're the same stylist.
Have you?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
We're part of an agency, which is something, you know.
Yeah, we were very close to wearing the same.
Were you?
Yeah.
I was going to wear that. No, I was going to wear that. And instead of my hair like this, I was going to do my hair like that.
I was going to do my hair like that as well.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Good. Are you good? Are you well?
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. I'm very well.
Is that your own little brand then?
I wish it was my brand.
Oh,
This is
okay.
Adidas.
Why is it double Adidas?
Oh, it's a secret, special Adidas.
Can I get them? Can normal people
Yeah,
get
of course, normal people. Hear this guy, man.
them? No, I didn't mean me. I mean other people listening.
Oh, sorry. Cheeky.
What have you been up to? Last time we saw you was about 2 weeks
chilling.
ago.
Today, I went by the Adidas office, got some bits, got some clobber, so I can look good for you lot.
Can we do
Obviously,
that?
Of course you can.
How do we do that?
Of course you can. I'll put you in touch with a guy. I know a guy.
That's nice.
And then, came to see you guys, and I got a song dropping after this, so a busy day.
Oh, after this?
Yeah. Literally, after this is aired, the song will come out an hour after this.
Why is it not being aired on this show?
Why can't we play it?
Yeah.
Boys, listen, we can text each other unreleased songs and we'll do all that. You know what I'm saying? You get the first preview. Yeah, but next time, definitely next time.
No. You listen. We want it on our show. Has one network got it, the first play of it?
No, they don't. I don't know who has it actually, to be honest.
Have you got it on your phone?
I do have it on my phone.
Can we play it?
It might be some profanity in there, so I don't want to get you in trouble.
Joe's fine.
Right, you like the name of the song though? The song's called Charisma.
Oh, I like that.
Has you read about me?
Charisma the footballer?
Oh,
that's the one.
We make charisma.
No, because then it would be charisma.
You know the Trivella, you know the...
Yeah, on the outside of the move.
Yeah,
Oh,
rude.
wow, okay.
Could you do that?
Outside the move?
Can you do that?
Yeah. Not, I can't do the whole... I can do the outside the move.
Not in these shoes.
Could you score like that?
Oh, no, he's outside the...
Afternoon all, it's Max and Barry with you on talkSPORT until 1:30. Barca Jim's been in touch, Baz. Bit of a Celtic fan. He says, I'm listening to you and watching the game on TV. I've taken my Apple Watch off as the heart rate monitor makes depressing reading, he says. My heart rate should not be at the level of someone halfway through a marathon. Anyway, we'll keep you posted on that game. Hibs down to 10 men, of course, but still goalless in the WSL. Man City 0, Liverpool 0, Spurs 2 up on London City. How Spurs men would be would want to be 2-0 up in their game against Villa tonight, 7 o'clock kickoff. Let's talk to Spurs fan and host of the Spurs chat, Chris Cowlin. Have I got that right, Chris? Is that what you host? What's the name of your thing?
That's the one, Spurs Chat Podcast,
Spurs
yes.
Chat,
and
Spurs Chat
yeah,
Podcast.
there have been quite dismal episodes this season.
Have you found it hard to go again when you go, I've got to do this again, I can't bear it?
Oh, well, I haven't missed a game. And I tell you what, I just really hope that Spurs deliver today because it has been a dismal season. You know, but we have a real opportunity. After that result yesterday of West Ham losing 3-0, and they have been in fine form, West Ham. You know, in January, we were 13 points above West Ham, and there has literally now been a 15-point swing. So Tottenham have an opportunity, and we know that if we go to Villa Park, and if we win our remaining 4 games, we will be a Premier League team next year. But, you know, Roberto De Zerbi has come in. He's been very, very positive. I think the last time that I spoke to you, Max, was before the Sunderland game, which was Roberto De Zerbi's first match. And I've got to say, in the game against Brighton, which we should have won, that was a really enjoyable game. And I haven't been able to say that many times this season. And of course, we got back to winning ways. It wasn't an entertaining game. It wasn't a great game by any means last week, but we got back to winning ways after 118 days in the Premier League, and that was a vital win. So it's got to continue. But like you said, Nigel Spink in goal, I'd take that all day long.
I was going to say, how much are you waiting for the Villa starting lineup to drop? Because, I mean, I obviously I'm saying this with hope, and I know, you know, the integrity of the league, blah, blah, blah. But they've got a Europa League semi-final next Thursday. You know, Emery is a Europa League expert. They're nailed on to get in the top 5. Like, just drop everyone. Like how much you just desperate to see what
Can I just interrupt here and say, should you not be thoroughly ashamed that this is what you were reduced to? Hoping Aston Villa play Gordon Cowans and Nigel Spink. With the greatest respect to them, I still think they do a decent job against this Spurs outfit. Spink could probably play in goals and not have to make a save. But yeah, is it not pitiful that this is what you're reduced to as Tottenham Hotspur fans?
It's true, Barry, and many congratulations on raising that amount of money for Great Ormond Street.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, fantastic achievement.
Now you've made me feel bad.
Yeah, good. No, you're absolutely right.
You're killing me with kindness here.
No, you're absolutely right. We should not be in this position. As I've said on this show many times before, Thomas Frank should have gone out the door a lot sooner. Igor Tudor come in, 44 days wasted, in my opinion. But Roberto De Zerbi, his confidence in this squad, in this playing group, and he has brought a lot to Tottenham in the last couple of weeks. He doesn't want anyone to be negative. He wants us all to be positive, thinking that we can go into games against Aston Villa away and winning. But regardless of what starting 11 comes out, at Villa Park this evening, they have got an excellent squad, and they've got a lot to play for as well, because they can secure a Champions League spot today with a win against Tottenham. But of course, this is a huge game for Spurs as well. But we just need to be grinding results out. As De Zerbi said, we can't be crying about it. We're not relegated, and we've got a lot to play for. And there are positives as well. We've got a lot of injury problems, but, Destiny Doggie's back today, Pape Matar, and I hope to see James Maddison at some point, even if it's not tonight. The remaining 3 games after today, Maddison could make a difference, because we are lacking in those creative areas. And as De Zerbi said in the last press conference, the likes of Tel and Bergvall, need to step up now, and the likes of Richarlison, who have been in this position before with Everton, Kolo Muani as well. We need to rely on someone like him. He's had a really poor season, underwhelming season, but every player needs to step up now and deliver on the pitch.
I don't want to be Barry Buzzkill here, but you have lost twice already to Aston Villa this season.
You do absolutely want to be Barry Buzzkill right now. Sorry, ask your question.
Well, no, I was just going to make the observation that Spurs have lost twice to Villa already this season, and that was at home.
It wasn't even a question, Barry, was it? It was
just rolling in a little grenade.
Another dig. Well, we're hoping to win the remaining 2 home Premier League games, but we've only won 2 Premier League games at home all season. And when you think that most Spurs fans spend about £1,000 on a season ticket, that's £500 a win so far this season. So it's not great, but we need to forget about the negative vibes from the Thomas Frank days and the Igor Tudor days. And Roberto De Zerbi, as I said, he's come in. He wants everyone to be very positive about things. And my only wish and my only hope is that he would have come in sooner. If we'd have got him in when Igor Tudor was appointed, I think that we'd have a real chance of survival. But I think that this is going to go to the very, very end, because like I said at the start, West Ham have been in fine form. They lost 3-0 yesterday, but they hit the woodwork, 3 times. They had a goal disallowed as well. So, they've got to play Arsenal, Newcastle and Leeds. We've still got to play Leeds, Chelsea, Everton after the Villa game tonight. So Leeds are going to have a big say in what happens in this relegation run-in. But I can see it probably even going down to goal difference. And that's where we are having a positive stat, because we're -10, they're -19. So as long as we're as long as we're a Premier League team. But like I've said to you before, Max, I'm not being arrogant here. Spurs should never be in this position. A number of poor decisions have been made at the football club. If we do get to the summer and we are a Premier League team, many, many things need to change at the football club.
I was reading one of those articles where you clearly have far too much time on your hands, that had analysed all the stats of every Tottenham player and all, the stats that the analytics they'd used to buy players. And they'd bought all these players who can run, but haven't bought any players who can pass the ball. And you mentioned Maddison, and the only players that can pass it are Maddison, Xavi Simons, and perhaps Kulusevski, although he sort of runs with the ball more. And that is the problem. Like, what is the midfield today? If there's no Simons, who is the man to unlock the defence?
Well, it's such a shame, Max, like you mentioned Xavi Simons there, his assist and his goal against Brighton. And we have been waiting for moments like this from him all season. And he produces the goods against Brighton and then, of course, gets an ACL away at Wolves. It does worry me about the lack of creativity in this team. And that's why I mentioned James Maddison, because when you have a player like that, of course, he got his injury in the pre-season tour against Newcastle in South Korea in the summer, and he hasn't played football for such a long time. But I do feel like we do need to risk him. Even if it is 10, 20 minutes at an end of a game, to give us that creative spark. Conor Gallagher, I think, has been underwhelming since he's come in at the football club. We expected so much more. Bentancur, I think, has been a real positive for us since he's returned from injury. So, yes, we do have a lot of injuries, but there are enough players in there that should be capable of getting results.
I mean, if Villa are going to pick Nigel Spink, as you hope, maybe you should pick Glenn Hoddle. He can unpick a defence.
Oh, exactly. Bring all the legends out, yeah. let Paul McGrath play for Aston Villa. Let them all play, yeah. Give them all a game. But now, in all seriousness, this game being sandwiched in between two Europa League semi-final matches, is there a better time to play Aston Villa? If you were to pick a perfect time to play Aston Villa, it would probably be today.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably be actually about 5 minutes after the full-time whistle of the Europa League. Saying, right, you got a double header, lads, and there it is. It's the hope that kills, isn't it? I mean, because West Ham were unlucky yesterday and they didn't defend brilliantly.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the scoreline tonight?
I actually think Spurs will win, and I think they'll stay up fairly comfortably.
I don't know. I don't go into the game with confidence. I don't think you can go into any game with confidence because Tottenham have won 8 games this season and they need to win. Probably, I can see them winning at home to Leeds and Everton. There is absolutely no way on God's earth that they get anything at Chelsea. I think you know that as well, Chris. I mean, even if Rushden was still there, I just don't know when the last time Tottenham did anything at Stamford Bridge that was good.
But 2018, one win in the last 36 years.
Oof. So there we are. So that's today is so big because if they could, I mean, you're right. They've only won 2 at home. Why do I think they'll beat Leeds and Everton at home? I mean, Everton could be going for European place, but then West Ham have Arsenal at home. Arsenal should beat them, and then Newcastle away. They haven't been great, but Newcastle away is not an easy game. And what's their last one? Leeds at home.
Yeah.
The answer, Chris, is I don't know. And I'd rather not to be in the position where I have to think about it. Yesterday was a day where Cambridge went up and the results went for Tottenham. I don't think I've had a day like that all season where everything has been good. It's so rare. And I know people yell if you support more than one team. And, if I had to choose, I'd choose Cambridge going up and Spurs going down. My apologies, Chris, but that's where my real heart is. But
we can't
these two things aren't, the two things aren't connected. But
I mean, Chris, there seems to be a feeling among Tottenham fans that if you get relegated, you disappear off the face of the earth.
What I would say,
a season in the Championship might be fun. You get to visit a load of new grounds.
No, I don't want that experience. I definitely do not want that experience at all. No, we don't want to be going down there. When I look at that Championship table, what does really worry me, I think it's like 4 sides who have never played in the Premier League. So a lot of these teams, they go down. And, look at how long Nottingham Forest went down for. And people at the time probably thought that they'd be coming straight back up. It is not a given that you're going to come straight back up. But, I know a lot of people go on about the stadium and the training facilities, et cetera, but it is never a given that you're going to come straight back up.
You could, Chris, do a Wolves or a Sunderland or a Leicester and go down again.
Another dig, Barry. Another dig.
I'm sorry. It's like kicking a blind man's stick, really, or stealing the penny. But it is kind of funny for us who don't care what division Tottenham are in.
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because so many non-Spurs fans who I talk to, they've all said to me all season, "You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Tottenham will stay up." You've done exactly the same, even though you've aimed so many digs at me today.
Yeah.
Well, come on. You never know. We live in hope, Chris. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think you'll be fine.
Chris Cowlin there from the Spurs Chat podcast. It's Max and Barry with you until 1:30 today. And has there been a goal on the Hibs Celtic game? I think we'll go to David Tanner in just a second. It's Max and Barry with you until 1:30. Brought to you with Travis Perkins with Pay As You Go Hire from Travis Perkins. You don't need a trade account. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk.
Simon Jordan singing your praises. That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
He
very
doesn't
nice.
do that with many people, mate. He really doesn't.
I always have a little spar. Have a little sparring match.
Look, I mean, Burnley have got to have a great chance of bouncing straight back next season again. And at the moment, the bookies have got Steven Gerrard and Craig Bellamy both in the frame. What are your thoughts?
Well, Craig Bellamy obviously worked under Vincent Company there, so he'll know the people involved and, you know, the ownership and the likes and the feel of the club. Stevie G, I mean, look, you know, does he want to go back in at that level? Does he want to? I mean, it's only an hour and a quarter from where he's from. I mean, if you're going to do it, like Frank has at Coventry, go into a good concern, and that is a good concern. There's no, I mean, I question the idea of doing the same model and it not working, but that doesn't mean that in the Championship they've got it wrong. Because let's face it, they've gone straight back up again. So I do think there'll be money available. I do think they'll retain some good players there. Certainly, with all due respect, Championship players who know the Championship, who can do the job in the Championship, and they might bounce back stronger. So I get why that would be an attractive proposition for Stevie G. I know he's a world famous player and stuff, but he's up and down with the management thing. Been over in Qatar, obviously. A lot made of that. Comes back. Is he ready to go again? And a good platform for him, I feel. I'm bound to say that. I'm biased towards.
Good afternoon. It's the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1:30. Let's go to a couple of other reporters in the WSL. Matt Jones is watching Man City Liverpool. Hey, Matt.
Hello, yeah, it's Manchester City, women 0, Liverpool, women 0 at the break. Liverpool have actually had the better chances in this game, most of them coming in the opening 5 minutes. Shalaj had a header that went over the bar. O'Sullivan saw a shot well saved by the goalkeeper, who also made a good stop to scramble away Fisk's header. At the other end, Manchester City started to come into their own around the midway point, and it was Bunny Shaw who's had their better of their 2 chances. Good work coming down the left by Hemp. She crossed into Shaw, and that strike was saved. So Manchester City not yet got the goal that will move them on to the cusp of a WSL title. At the break, Manchester City 0, Liverpool 0.
Let's go to East Road then. David Tanner watching Hibs Celtic. There has been a goal, David.
And it's Hibernian 0, Celtic 1, inevitably after Hibs were reduced to 10 men after 20 minutes when Jamie McGrath was sent off for a high and late foul on Alistair Johnson. It's Johnson who's back in the team after 6 months out, who has created the goal for Dyson Maida. A run down the right from Johnson into the box where Maida was waiting. Initially, Douglas Ross, the Conservative member of the Scottish Parliament, flagged for offside, but Don Robinson, the VAR, spotted that the ball was actually cut back, and therefore the goal could stand, and the Japanese scored from inside the 6-yard box. There are thousands of empty seats in the home stands at Easter Road. It's like the Hibs fans knew what was coming this afternoon. They certainly, with the extra man, Celtic are totally dominant, and it looks as though they've got 2 extra men. But at the break, it's Hibernian 0, Celtic 1, thanks to Dyson Maida.
Barry, did you want to ask David a question?
Yeah, David, have Hibs just scored an equaliser? Okay, we've lost David. I think Hibs have just equalised in the 3rd minute of added time.
Right. What do you mean you think? Like, if you're watching it, surely you can see that they have.
Yes, well, I'm just waiting to see if it... This is VAR for you, Max. I'm waiting to see if it's been disallowed or not. Yes, Hibs have equalised, and I don't know who scored it. Oh,
that's fine.
I believe David is back with us.
He is back with us. Hey, David.
Well, just on the half-time whistle, Hibernian have equalised. It's Hibernian 1, Celtic 1, and it's a goal scored by captain Joe Newell, who's had to spend much of this season out injured, and he scored 45 minutes, 3 minutes after the 45. A terrific goal from about 10 yards out, high into the back of the net,
and Sinisolo didn't see that coming. I didn't see it coming either, because I can tell you that Celtic have absolutely dominated this first half. But there you go, the 10 men have levelled at Easter Road. It's Hibernian 1, Celtic 1.
Thank you, David. Yeah, I mean, that is huge implications for the top of the table then, because...
There is a VAR check ongoing, by the way, on that Hibs goal. A suspicion of offside and I thought a suspicion of handball, but we shall see.
Oh, we shall see. If it stays like that, Hearts will remain top on 73 from 34. Celtic will be 73 from 35.
I think he handled that ball before he struck it. Definite arm movement to bring the ball under control, I think. And I say this as someone with zero skin in the game, but I think this is going to be ruled out. Anyway, crack on, man.
Okay. No, that's okay. No, I'm enjoying this. It's like Soccer Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah.
With slightly sort of...
There's been a goal at Easter Road, but for who, David Tanner?
And has there?
I don't know,
Jeff. Love to Chris Kamara wherever you are. Rangers will 69 from 34. They play Hearts, remember, tomorrow. So they need a win to stay in the title race, really. And then Celtic would be level on points with Hearts, but having played a game more if the score remains the same. Now let's get team news from the early kickoff in the Premier League this afternoon at the Vitality. Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace. He got 2 points in the footballer game. Can he deliver the team news with the same elan? It's Alfie Reynolds.
Well, Bournemouth can go back up to 6th with victory this afternoon. Max, they make 2 changes from their draw with Leeds. That game 11 days ago. Brooks and Christie move on to the bench. It's Adams and Ryan that come in. So Petrovic is in goal. Jimenez, Hill, Senesi and Truffert at the back. Scott and Adams in front of them in midfield. And then it's Ryan, Krupi and Tavernier, the 3 behind Evan Nilsson. For Palace, their season basically boils down to the Europa Conference League. No surprise that they rotate here. Oliver Glasner makes 5 changes from midweek. Onto the bench go Richards, Mitchell, Wharton, Sarr and Mateta. In come Riyad, Devaney, Lerma, Johnson and Strand Larsen. The Palace 11, Henderson in goal, Riyad, Lacroix and Camvo the back 3 with Devaney and Munoz the wing backs. Lerma and Kamada in central midfield. It's Johnson and Pino who are behind Strand Larsen. 2 p.m. kickoff and Perry Groves is going to be alongside me.
The interesting thing, Alfie, is that Bournemouth really do have a chance of getting into the Champions League in the same way that Brentford do yesterday, Brighton do as well. And it's just extraordinary to think that. But like, it's great in the sense that there are so few dead runners in the Premier League at the moment.
Yeah, and actually I know a lot of our focus, Max, is on the title race and Man City and Arsenal, and then the battle for who stays up between Tottenham and West Ham. But actually, as you say, the fight for the European places is fascinating, because you've got Fulham in 10th on 48, Chelsea 9th on 48, Bournemouth are on 49, Brighton on 50, Brentford on 51. There are going to be clubs here that are getting European football that could have an unbelievable journey next season. And as you say, if Villa win the Europa League, then it's going to be 6 teams in the Champions League. Bournemouth today, a victory would take them back into 6th position. They are having a brilliant season. That fight for the European places, I think, is fascinating to end this season.
Yeah, thank you, Alfie. Enjoy the game. Alfie Reynolds there. Perry Groves alongside him. Adrian Durham, your host for Game Day Live after us. He's at Old Trafford for Man United Liverpool. We'll chat to Neil Mellor about Liverpool in just a second. Scott Minto, part of our coverage as well. Game Day exclusive tonight is Reshmin hosting Villa versus Spurs. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Yes, Barry, you had your hand up.
Oh, I just wanted to clear up some housekeeping. The Hibs goal stands, and I think they're a little bit lucky, if I have to say, Max. I think Joe Newell definitely handled the ball in the build-up, but it stands 1-1 at the break.
Matt says Barry with the goals as they go in. You'd be good on that Soccer Saturday. You could sit on the end of the panel, don't you think, on the desk?
I think I'd be like Roy Kent on Ted Lasso. I'd just talk about the futility of what we're all doing. We don't know. And I'd swear too much. No, I'd be able to do it without swearing. I can do this without swearing. I mean, I swear a lot in real life.
You do, yes.
As you know.
Potty mouth, yeah. It is funny. It's something that, the button you can press to not do it while you're here. Speaking of the futility of life, young Ian has recently got into the solar system.
Oh.
And space.
Oh.
Not in a really deep... not in a very detailed way. You know, he's not an astrophysicist. He's 4, but he's you know, we're learning about the planets and Pluto now being a dwarf planet, and there are 5 other dwarf planets. But that does really
Right. Well, young Ian already knows far more about space than I do, and I'm 53.
Sure, but you know, that really brings it home as to the sheer pointlessness and futility of it all.
Yeah.
And how small we really are. And you know, how there is life, right, on this planet to the point that has got to a level where you as a man can sit in a room. I can sit in a room on the other side of this planet, which can sustain organic life, and you can look at a screen and watch another man potentially handle a ball in Edinburgh, which will make some people incredibly upset. In fact, even being upset. Well, that's an odd thing, isn't it? How all this has evolved to where we find ourselves now. Is this a pertinent point, or do I sound like a student who's had a magic cookie?
Well, I'm interested, Max.
Yeah, thanks so much. Anyway, so look, I see myself as a sort of happy nihilist. It's not a reason not to do anything. You might as well have a good time. I feel like it's almost like like a reel that somebody would do on Instagram. I've just been thinking about the futility of anything. So we will continue this futility with Neil Mellor in just a second. Former Liverpool striker. They play Manchester United.
I reckon if Neil is listening to this bit, he probably will make his excuses and not be available.
I don't know. I reckon Neil's got some strong thoughts on the meaning of life.
Okay.
And, you know, what we're all here for. And then we'll play Guess the Attendance with Justin.
So we've got live to Neil Mellor's existential crisis.
Well, he may not be having an existential crisis. He may just, you know, he may be really on it with his existentialism. The only way we'll find out is by talking to him next. It's Max and Barry on the warm-up with Travis Perkins. Go big on landscaping with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need at travisperkins.co.uk.
Frank, I want to move on to a player that you give his debut for Chelsea, Reece James. How important is he for Chelsea and also for the World Cup in the summer?
Yeah, Reece, what an incredible player, an incredible lad. I've been really pleased with how he's taken to the captaincy there as well, because I think from afar, I feel like I've seen him grow into that position, because he was always quite a quiet lad, Reece. Kept his thoughts to himself, but when you did speak to him, he was very articulate. But the quality level, Gabby, I mean, when I first went to Chelsea, I had a good understanding of the academy because of the lads that were working with me. But to see his talent levels, I mean, I've never seen someone who gets a 70-yard cross-fielder and just brings it down in his chest and then can do whatever he wants to the ball. It's a really incredible technique. But his whole game that he's got now, pace and power and the quality levels. So, yeah, massively important for Chelsea. You see that when he's not playing. He's managed to play more regularly this season, which has been great, but obviously out recently. And yeah, without picking Thomas's squad for him or his team, I think Reece James is one of the best right backs in the world, without a doubt. And yeah, want to see him fit and playing again because he's a special player.
So how do you rate our chances at the World Cup, Frank?
Well, I think we've got a good chance, but there's a lot of other good teams in it. This is the age-old question I get about why we didn't win World Cups as a group from mine, because France, Spain, Germany were all really, really good too. And, you know, so there are other teams that will be there competing going over to.
Everyone knows there are 20 managers in the Premier League, yeah? Well, actually, no. Around 3/4 of them are not managers. The terms manager and head coach are often used interchangeably to describe Premier League bosses, but they're actually two different jobs. So let's explain how and why. For years, fans referred to Mikel Arteta as Arsenal's manager, but I'm afraid technically...
I don't think so, no.
From his first day on the job, he was the Gunners' head coach. Let's pick a random moment in time, February 2025. Only 6 Premier League bosses actually held the official title of manager rather than head coach. Man City's Pep Guardiola, David Moyes of Everton, Ipswich boss Kieran McKenna, Southampton's Ivan Juric, Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace and Leicester's Ruud van Nistelrooy were the only actual managers of their respective teams. Everyone else? That's right, head coach, including Ruben Amorim at Man United. He took over from Erik ten Hag, a man who had held the title of manager. Might come as a surprise that Amorim's appointment marked the first time ever that Man United had a head coach instead of a manager. But to understand why they made that decision, you also have to get what the difference is between a head coach and a manager. A manager's got a huge range of responsibilities. They're not just in charge of training and player lineups, they're also heavily involved in player sales and transfers. Critical stuff. But a head coach's role is far more focused on team training and performance on the pitch. So whereas Ten Hag was highly involved with decisions around transfers during his tenure, the intention was that Amorim wouldn't be, at least not on the same level. And as the sporting structure at Man United changed under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, people like Sir Dave Brailsford took charge of transfers instead. How all those roles play out in practice may be slightly different at different clubs though. On the other hand, the contracts of actual managers like Pep or Moyes had no limits on their job role and their involvement with transfers and contracts. But those guys are actually in the minority now, and it's a change that's happened pretty quickly. In 2019, there were only 6 head coaches in the Premier League, but by 2025, there were 14. A clear indication that more and more clubs are moving towards a model where the guy in charge is actually only really in charge on the pitch. And the way things are going, it might not be long before all 20 clubs have got head coaches, and the job position of football manager in the top flight is no more.
Good afternoon, it's the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry here until 1:30. Brought to you with Travis Perkins. Go big on landscaping with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need at travisperkins.co.uk. Paul says David just said he didn't see the Hibs goal coming. He should have said he didn't even manage to see the Hibs goal happening. Thank you so much. Anyway, Barry, you had some space thoughts.
Well, no, just your treatise on space and the futility of our existence reminded me of an old Bill Hicks routine, a bit. Famous American stand-up. Today, a young man on acid realised that all matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration, that we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There is no such thing as death. Life is only a dream, and we are the imagination of ourselves. Now let's go to Neil Mellor for his thoughts on Liverpool Manchester United.
This is talkSPORT, not talk string theory. Anyway, let's do that. As Neil didn't realise he was booked for a 15-minute exploration on the meaning of life, but that's where we are. Man United Liverpool kicks off at 3:30 today. Former Liverpool striker Neil Mellor is here. Hi, Neil.
Max, Barry, lovely. Thanks for that intro.
Oh yeah. I'm just interested because I don't spend a lot of time thinking about the meaning of life. Neil, do you spend any time thinking about the meaning of? We'll get to Liverpool in a second, but do you ever think about it all?
No, just happy to be here.
Yeah,
that's about it, really.
Get through the day. Don't get found out. That's what it's all about, Neil.
Live for
I
now.
reckon there's a whole philosophy of just happy to be here. I think it's a great way to live, isn't it?
Well, we're talking about the meaning of life. People are saying today's match between Liverpool and Manchester United is meaningless. Is there any such thing as a meaningless game between Liverpool and Manchester United? I suspect not, Neil.
No, dear. Yeah, absolutely not. It's the game you want to win the most. It's the game you don't want to lose the most. That rivalry is real. I mean, football fans up and down the country have their own rivalry. This is Liverpool's. Yes, Everton's always a big game, and we've had that one recently. But Manchester United, there is a real, I think the best way to word it is dislike. for each other. And that goes both ways. So today it'll be no different. Obviously, both teams want to be challenging for the title. They're not in that position. But both teams are in a decent enough place to think Champions League football will be the case next season. So in terms of the jeopardy there, it's not there. But to win this game, you watch that atmosphere at Old Trafford, like it was at Anfield earlier on this season, it matters a great deal to those fans.
I don't even remember what happened at Anfield earlier this season. Can you remind me, Neil?
It was smash and grab from United. Yeah, they got lucky. And we hit the post twice, missed a big chance, a few big chances. The away team won that day.
Right. Okay. Noted. I mean, I wasn't trying to set you up there. I genuinely had forgotten. So the real question about Liverpool is Arne Slot keeping his job? They will get in the Champions League, right? It seems it would be incredible if any of the top five didn't make it now. There's such a big drop between them and a big gap between them and Brentford. Is that enough for Arne Slot to keep his job, or does he need to win the last four or three of the last four? We heard. I can't remember who was on saying. Was it Sammy McElroy on saying earlier that if he wins this, he was saying give Carrick the job. That's a different point. But what does Arne Slot need to do in these last few games to keep the Liverpool job, or is he not going to keep it?
I think to ensure Champions League football will be there next season. Obviously, last year was a brilliant season for Liverpool. Won the Premier League title. This season has been very different. There's been a lot of change, a lot of reasons perhaps why Liverpool haven't been quite at the same level. But Liverpool want to be competing to win the title, and I expect a summer of change again. But ultimately, Liverpool have to be in the Champions League. And like you say, but for an unbelievable end to the season where they lose all the games, I think it looks likely that will be the case. And they build again. I think that's the thing. Liverpool, for Arne Slot, he delivered in his first season. And, okay, there's a little bit of unrest this season about results, style of play. All the change has happened. So for me, I'm right behind the manager and hoping that the change will bring better season next year for Liverpool.
Hugo Ekitike is out and is probably going to miss quite a sizable chunk of next season. We're still not sure whether Alex Isak is going to be a success or not at Liverpool. What do they need to do during the summer, and what areas need to be strengthened? Obviously, Andy Robertson's going to leave, and someone else whose name
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah, obviously, yeah, Mo.
Yes,
quite a big loss. They're going to have to spend a lot of money, aren't they?
I think there'll be a lot of change, in terms of who comes in. I don't know. There was a lot of change last summer. A lot of key players left the football club, a lot of new faces. I think it'll be the same again. You mentioned Andy Robertson. Salah's a massive blow. Salah has been unbelievable season after season for Liverpool. So that would be a big one to replace. Obviously, Chiesa. What's going on with Chiesa? Ekitike is out for a long time. Conor Bradley, when's he be back? Liverpool have had a problem at right back all season. They've had to play Curtis Jones there, Dominic Szoboszlai. So I wonder if that might be addressed in the summer as well. And obviously, there will be a new centre-back coming back. There's also talk about Konate. Will Konate stay or not? Will he sign his new contract? It's the more positive talk in that sense. So, yeah, I do expect this summer to be similar to last for Liverpool, to have a lot of change. And then it's a case of starting the season well and hoping that Liverpool can stay in the top couple of places to challenge again.
Is Virgil van Dijk the player he used to be, and are you happy with the way he's played this season?
If you look at social media, you might believe differently. I've watched every game. I've reviewed every game. Barry, he has had a very, very good season. What I would say is, I think him and Konate have maybe played more than they would have liked to because of the lack of depth Liverpool have had at centre-half. Obviously, there's not been anyone to really come in and give them a breather here and there. Virgil's played every Premier League game, the majority of all the Champions League games as well. So he's not really had the breather he would have liked to. But he's had a good season. He's had a really good season. And what is he now, 34? He's got his World Cup as well. Where's his breather coming? He's played loads of games this season. He's got that World Cup. So, absolutely more than happy that Virgil's had a good season. He'll be part of it again next. New defender comes in the summer, the French boy. So, he has been immense. But this summer with Robertson going, with Salah going, the speculation about Alisson, it just feels like those players that were part of Jurgen's incredible era are all starting to leave, and it will be a new era for Liverpool with the new players. I think there'll be more from Wirtz next year, lads. I really do think that. I think he's a special player. Obviously, Isak's not had the season he would have wanted, but Liverpool will want more from him next season. But I think Wirtz could be the player to really stand out for Liverpool next season.
Yeah. I don't know if I agree on Van Dijk, Neil, but you've watched more Liverpool. I don't like to disagree with anybody, although we're not told to make adversarial radio here. But I think he's been slightly off it. But then maybe I'm just watching the moments when Liverpool concede, or if the players around you aren't quite on it, it makes it different, right? If the midfield in front of you, Gravenberch was brilliant last year. Like that is, you are only as good as the people around you, right? And so that might
tell me about it, Max.
Yeah, thanks, Baz. But I think you're right about Wirtz, and actually I think Frimpong as well. It's difficult to come into a team and be a different player and be expected to replace someone, and actually who they put next to Wirtz will be really fascinating. Because I agree with you, his balance and his movement and his grace. I'm desperate for him to be a success.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we might see something slightly different this afternoon. In terms of maybe two false nines. I think he can play that position as well, rather than sort of having a striker and two real pacey forwards, which I think suits his style as well. He's played off the left. A lot was made about that. Certainly how good he was at Leverkusen and what he does for their national team. I like him as a 10. He is that player who can get in between the lines, those little pockets of space. But he needs movement ahead of him, but he's a real player who, Manchester United will talk about Bruno Fernandes, the season he's had, and the chances he's created. I think Wirtz will be that player for Liverpool for seasons to come. And not quite hit the numbers this year. First year, you can certainly give him grace for that. But I think there are big things to come from Wirtz.
Unconnected, I saw you posted the Stevenage, was it a goal, wasn't it a goal?
I had some stick on that one. I've had some stick for that.
Did you? Because you didn't post it with an opinion, I thought. You just went, this looks tight, doesn't it? Stevenage, it's a goal mile scramble. It's impossible to tell if it's crossed the line from that angle. There's another angle that makes it look like it has a bit more. But was that in injury time to secure a playoff spot and Luton miss out? Oh,
yeah, let me clear it up for them. For them Stevenage fans that are giving me some stick on social media. Here we go. So well done to Stevenage for getting the playoffs. It's been a brilliant season for them. Luton had their chance over 46 games. They actually played well at Bolton. But what I would say is, third tier of English football, there was 25,000 fans at Bolton yesterday. I don't know what the costing is involved to get goal line technology, but our English pyramid is so strong. And for a big moment like that to happen in the 92nd minute, whatever it was, in the final game of the season, was it over the line? Wasn't it over the line? I just think goal line technology has been the best thing to come into the game. I don't like VAR, really don't like it, and I love the EFL because it's not in there. But if goal line technology could be introduced, then I think that would be a real benefit. How far you go down, I don't know. But tier 3, I feel as though it could be added. I was around all the Luton lot after the game. Obviously, I have to speak to the manager, Jack Wiltshire. They were furious when they saw it. They were absolutely furious. But except it's been over the season why they missed out. But for a big decision like that not to go the way, was it definitely over the line? From the videos I've saw, I'm not sure. But some decisions you get, some you don't. It felt like a big one on the last day anyway.
Can it not go down as far as Football Victoria Metro Southeast Division 5, Neil? Because we beat Albert Park 1-0 about 2 hours ago, and our winner was maybe 2 yards offside. And so I don't want that to be redone. But it was a good finish.
He only wants goal line technology. Not
okay, fine. I'll say no VR and offside. I'm happy, Neil. Another good win for the Melbourne Bohemians. Thank you, Neil. Thanks for coming on.
Great stuff. Cheers, lads. Have a good one.
Good stuff, Neil Mather. As he just said, just happy to be here. I feel the same. That's a good way.
Max, you were telling me you've got a former male Gaelic footballer in your team.
Yeah, who scored the winner.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably pretty good, I'd say, is he? He's good hurler, good footballer, good Gaelic footballer, beating a couple of All-Ireland finals.
It's very weird to play in midfield with someone who can actually kick it. Like look up and just play a 40-yard ball.
Remind me of his name?
Cahill, is it? See it? Cahill Freeman.
Freeman, that's it.
Yeah. 1-0. Great goal. Mark, the Wolves fan, says, I haven't checked in on YouTube for a while. Has Max now got purple hair? Have I got purple hair? I mean, I know it's grey, but it's not. I'm not dyeing it purple. Paul says, Max, why are we all here? Is there life outside what we know? Joel Newell, I just scored a goal, mate. Thank you, Paul. Duncan in Somerset, I'm with you, Max. I was watching a dinosaur program with my daughter the other day. They were around for 180 million years. We've been around for 0.3 million. This is Jamie says, like Max, I've also had my existential what's it all about moment. Mind you, I was 15 doing my GCSE mocks. Thank you, Jamie. He says, on my way to volunteer with a child bereavement support charity called Simon Says in Hampshire. Would appreciate a shout out for an amazing charity. Good for you for doing something good, Jamie. It is Max and Barry with you until 1:30. We'll play Guess the Attendance next.
See, that's the Villa. Can you me Villa? You almost went hell of a beating Gabby Agbon. Oh, can you me Gabby? You almost went hell of a beating Hooters Villa Park Ball Ring. Legs 11. Can you me legs 11? You almost went hell of a beating Prince Willie. Big Prince Willie. You almost Saunders. Dane Saunders. Ron Saunders. Can you me Saunders? You almost went hell of a beating Hooters. Jory Quarter. Cadbury's World. Jack Grealish! Gabby Agbon Lahore! Can you me Gabby? You always one hell of a beating!
Hooters is in Nottingham, by the way.
Hooters! Can you me Hooters? You always one hell of a beating! Hooters! Can you me Hooters? You always one hell of a beating!
Nottingham Forest take the lead.
Hooters! Can you
Oh, my,
Hooters?
come on.
You always one hell of a beating! Gabby Agbon Lahore! You always a beating!
They go to Villa Park next week, 1-0 up. Another UEFA handball, though, leads to a penalty for Chris Wood. Villa fans, did you do enough tonight? It was a bit flat. 03717 22 33 44. Vito Pereira, though, looking like a really good appointment for Nottingham Forest right now. Get involved in the show. Elsewhere, Crystal Palace, they got the job done. Tough away day against Shakhtar. They are on their way to the final.
Here's a text. Says, I only tuned in about 20 minutes ago. I heard Max banging on about space. Then he said we booked Neil for 15 minutes. I could only assume it was going to be Neil Armstrong. I was somewhat disappointed we ended up with Neil Mellor. And even more so when asked about the meaning of life, he played for a 0-0 draw and offered nothing. It was a bit harsh. Anyway, I'm just happy to be here. Is a life philosophy that I can get behind. Yep. Max and Barry with you until 1:30. Guess your tennis in just a second. Before that, let's go to David Tanner watching Hibs Celtic. Hey, David.
And it's Hibernian 1, Celtic 1. Celtic scoring in the middle of the first half to Dyson Maeda before Joe Newell scored a controversial equaliser in first half stoppage time. It looked like he handled the ball with his arm. He touched the ball with his arm, but some of the replays suggested he didn't. So after a long deliberation, the VAR people said that the goal could stand. Hibs made a couple of changes in the second half. Jordan Obita is on. Josh Campbell is on. Both of them have been booked in the opening minutes, and Dyson Maeda has just been booked as well for a tussle with Josh Campbell. Remember, at the moment, the Hearts, as it stands, are 2 points clear of Celtic. If Celtic another goal, they'll be level on points with the leaders. It's Hibs 1, Celtic 1.
Let's go to Matt Jones watching Man City Liverpool in the WSL.
It's still Manchester City 0, Liverpool 0, although Manchester City have just had a huge chance to go in front. They have been the better side in this half, and they worked the ball through to Carolyn. She was through on goal. All she had to do was beat the goalkeeper, but Falcon, the Liverpool goal, made an absolutely outstanding save, somehow tipping her shot over the bar. Lauren Hemp has also continued to cause problems down the Manchester City left. She's seen one shot saved, another go wide. It might be that they are beginning to build up the momentum to get an opener, but at the moment, Manchester Manchester City 0, Liverpool 0.
Thanks, Matt. Let's play Guess the Attendance today. Top journalist Barry Glendenning takes on top comedian Justin Morehouse. Welcome to the programme, Justin.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you very much.
Oh, I'm pleased to hear it. Where do we find you?
You find me in a state of ambivalence. No, I'm actually in the old Granada Studios area in Manchester, having a bit of food, and then I'm off to the match shortly.
Okay.
Are you having Betty's hot pot?
No, I once played a cricket match I was the captain of the Flying Horse on the Flying Horse on Rosamond Street in a cricket match, and the prize was the recipe for Betty's hot pot or my old Space Invader machine, and we lost.
Wow. So they got the recipe and they wouldn't tell you. Like, did they each get it delivered in an envelope, or is it just the recipes given to you? Like,
no, that's what they wagered. That's what they put on the table, and I put and I had to deliver my old Space Invaders table to the Rovers with it, with my tail between my legs.
All right. So from very much the urn of the North Lancashire cricket leagues.
North Lancashire.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I was just having a guess. East, the Lancashire one. I don't know. It's all the same up there, Justin, isn't it? Anyway, let's play.
Can I just, before we play Guess the Attendance, can I just ask you your reaction to the disgraceful scenes we saw at Cambridge yesterday of the the fans breaking the law and going on the pitch? I think they should be dismissed from having any part of the promotion taken away from them. That's
the thing is,
it needs to be
start a 50-point deduction at the start of next
can't
season.
Stop. The thing is, you can't stop the Cambridge Massive, right? It is the most febrile. If you start taking them on, Justin, you're not safe because, honestly, it's like Galatasaray squared.
You're going to be, next thing you know, you're going to be strung up on a punting rod or whatever it is, and the fen mud will be smeared all over you, and your blazer will be cut up.
Interestingly, at the boat race, I've had to cover a couple of boat races for The Guardian. I was going to, it's not a very pleasant experience, but the Cambridge boat fans, our rowing fans, are quite obnoxious, I have to say.
Yeah, but that's nothing to do with the Cambridge United fans.
It's probably
completely different.
I would say Cambridge United Football Club.
There is in the Venn diagram.
Rowing, the Venn diagram is probably
absolute. That is
the middle section. I'd say
there is no one in the middle section of that Venn diagram of people who go to the Abbey and people who go to the boat race to watch Cambridge row. I will have you know. Anyway, Leeds 3, Burnley 1 at Elland Road. Thomas Bramall refereed the game. Big result for Leeds, as they're surely safe now. But how many were there, Barry, to watch this one?
31,200.
Justin. Oh dear.
Oh, we haven't lost him again, have we?
Matt says, and Matt has sent a slightly. Matt's message was a little prescient. It says, Justin on a clear line. Am I dreaming? Well, no, Matt, you're not dreaming because he's disappeared and we're stuck.
This
in
is a
limbo.
hat trick of disappearances from Justin.
Who's reserved?
Do I get to keep him?
We're sitting here. The talkSPORT can't carry on because all we have is your guess of 31,200.
Yeah.
And that's all we have. And we need a Justin Morehouse. Unless somebody rings us right now, 03717 223344, to play the role of Justin. In no other quiz would I accept someone playing the role of someone else. But if you ring right now, we've got to finish this show in 3 minutes. We've got to get through Guess the Attendance. Otherwise, Adrian Durham isn't allowed to do his show. talkSPORT falls off air unless Guess the Attendance is finished. So the phone number is 03717 Oh, Justin's back. The guess was 31,200 at Elland Road. What do you say, Justin?
31,199.
36,265. 1-0 to Barry Glendenning. Let's go to Molyneux. Paul Tierney refereed Wolves 1, Sunderland 1. But how many were there, Justin?
26,000.
26,000. Barry?
25,999.
29,632. It's one apiece. We go to Portman Road. Gavin Ward refereed Ipswich Town 3, QPR 0 at Portman Road. See Ipswich into the Premier League. How many were there, Barry?
26,000. Bang on.
26,001.
29,636, 2-1 to Justin Morehouse. That's a thrilling game, and I was going a little bit too quickly, as it turns out.
Okay.
Che Hathaway, presumably is a American movie star. He refereed Torquay 4, Dorking 2 in the National League South promotion playoff semi-finals. But how many were there at Plainmoor, Justin?
4,000.
4,000.
Sorry, what was the game again?
Torquay Dorking in the National League promotion playoff semi-final.
I reckon there's more than that. Let's go 4,001.
4,800. It's 2 apiece. Here we go. The show coming to the denouement that we all want. And we go to the Mornflake Stadium. I presume it's still Gresty Road. I'm not sure. Crew 0, Cambridge United 0. The referee was Neil Hare. Interestingly, he had blonde streaks in his hair. So he really thinks about his hair, does Neil Hare. But that's not important. How many were there to witness Cambridge United's glorious promotion to League One yesterday? It's 2 apiece. And the guess is with you, Barry.
9,202.
Oh, they temptation to 9,201.
The temptation to showboat was there, was it, Justin? But you didn't
No,
dare.
it wasn't. I've lost it. I've made a mistake there, I think.
That's okay. 7,335. It is a win for Justin Morehouse. Very well played, Justin. Always nice to chat.
Oh, I'm so sorry for the technical problems that beset this. I don't know what it is. I'll be speaking to the technical department at talkSPORT in the week, because this is one of the most important things I do all week, and it's now become beset with gremlins, and I apologise on behalf of everyone.
Mark says, that bloody signal in North Lancashire. As I pointed out. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Barry. Adrian Durham's next.
Mikel Arteta obviously hasn't been able to call on Bukayo Saka enough over the course of this period. We know he's had a bit of an Achilles problem. Does he still look to you like he's struggling for a little bit of fitness?
Yes.
And if that's the case, how long is that going to take to sort out?
It's going to need managing between now and the end of the season.
He hasn't had surgery on it, has he?
No, and obviously you've got the World Cup coming up as well, and he's going to be a key man there. I wonder how many minutes he'll get this weekend. He got, 21 plus stoppage time in midweek. You think maybe he might